know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Fury fam, everybody tuning in, man. Welcome to another edition of LG Shaking the Panel. I'm your host, Larry K. We're talking fins. That's all we're talking about. A lot going on this week, a lot of crazy things, a lot of good news, bad news, etc., etc. A lot to get to. I got Greg in the background right now. He's behind the scenes. I got Shake. We're ready to do some segments. We're ready to have the panel up. We're ready to talk Miami Dolphins. That's what we're here to do. We got a big game coming up. And it's going to be, against Minnesota. Minnesota is not a pushover. Minnesota is a good team. This is not going to be easy. You saw me. I'm fresh off that Jets loss. I was there the last two games, man. I was in Cincinnati. I unfortunately saw Tua get hurt. I saw us lose in Cincinnati. I unfortunately saw us lose in the Meadowlands here in Jersey. It has not been fun. It has not been pleasant. But here we are nonetheless. This is what it is, man. And I'm here with you. Don't worry, I'm not going to be at any more games this year unless we make the playoffs or do something crazy and I'm getting in a plane and flying down to Miami or something of that sort. So at the end of the day, man, here's where we at, and that's it. You see the controversy going on? Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, apparently hurt, and was yanked from the game before I even had the chance to go inside the stadium. So I'm walking up to the stadium. I'm having trouble with my tickets. I'm trying to navigate the tickets. I'm trying to navigate, SeatGeek, get my seats ready to show to the people checking tickets at the front. And as I'm walking up, the game's on the TV outside the stadium, and my boy texts me, "Let's go, Skylar." "Okay, Skylar, do your thing, Skylar." And I said, "What the hell happened to Teddy?" Come to find out, everybody in the stadium, the buzz is that Teddy had a concussion, so Teddy got pulled from the concussion protocol, and we had to go with Skylar. Now, we'll get to Skylar, and a lot of people wanted to see Skylar. We saw Skylar. We'll get to Skylar. He didn't play terrible. I don't think he played great. I think he played just kind of the way you might expect a seventh-round rookie with some promise to play. We did have a chance to win the game. I'll get to that in a minute, but we didn't win the game, unfortunately, and no matter who you are, I said it in my post-game reaction recap video that it's hard to win with any third-string quarterback. I don't care who you are. It's even harder to win with his third-string quarterback when he didn't take the reps all week in practice. So it was going to be tough to win. Nonetheless, we almost pulled it out. But I didn't find out till after the game that Teddy Bridgewater was pulled because one of those spotters they have now observed him stumble or observed him lose motor skills or something of that nature. And therefore, they have unilateral power to just yank a player. And not only does the player, when they get yanked, not able to participate in that game, but the player apparently is placed in concussion protocol, even if there are no signs of concussion, even if there is no evidence or proof that a concussion ever occurred, even if the spotter may have been in error or the spotter may have not properly made that determination, they have unilateral power to pull somebody from a game and place them in concussion protocol. So now we find ourselves with this overreaction, this media hype, this optics-obsessed nonsense. We find ourselves with a backup quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater who doesn't even have a concussion, never even had a concussion, never even exhibited these motor skill loss. But because this observer unilaterally has the authority to just pull somebody, now we're stuck without our backup quarterback too. So it was announced today that Skylar is going to start Sunday. Skylar is gonna start on Sunday. And what up, Triple S Podcast? Great to have you on. Thanks for the love. But Skylar is gonna start. Cap, what up, man? Skylar is going to start Sunday not because Teddy's unhealthy, but because Teddy's in concussion protocol. And because Teddy's in concussion protocol, he can't even see the damn field, the practice field, until Thursday. So McDaniel already said he's not going to put a quarterback in the game who wasn't able to practice all week. We're going with Skylar. But it's not because Teddy's actually hurt. It's because of the media hype and the NFL's overreaction and nonsense. And I told you guys from the beginning that this was an overreaction and it was nonsense. And it was all based on hype and optics and media nonsense. And that's what it was. And that's a society we live in, unfortunately, and we are paying the price for it. The same people that say follow the science, follow the science, follow the science, when they don't like the science, they reject the science. And that's what you're seeing now. It's crazy. That's what you're seeing now. The science doesn't matter anymore because we just don't like the optics. So we're just pulling guys, putting them in concussion protocol, even though there's no evidence of concussion here. And we got screwed with it. We got screwed with it. And that's where we're at right now, unfortunately. But nonetheless, look, we're rolling in there with Skylar. Skylar didn't look bad. Let's face it. The Jets were fighting hard. They were playing good. We had a third-string quarterback. And honestly, in that third quarter, the way we were playing, and then into the fourth quarter, we were driving that ball. If we don't have that drop midway through the fourth quarter while we were driving in Jets territory, and we don't have that penalty, maybe the field goal is more makeable. Now, Jason Sanders has not been as great as he was a few years ago. He has not been as clutch as he was a few years ago. That's just a fact. But it's hard for anybody to make a 53-yard field goal as the sun's kind of going down in crisp autumn weather on the road. It's hard to make a 53-yard field goal. It's never going to be easy. So I can't sit here and say Sanders is some bum or Sanders just doesn't have it or we got to get rid of Sanders just because he missed a 53-yarder. Our offensive players, with the penalty and with the drop pass, put him in a bad position. We took a shot at it. Quite frankly, maybe a punt there. I don't know. I'm not going to second-guess McDaniel. I like the field goal call. If you make that field goal, we go up by a point. And if you go up by a point, the way we were coming on that entire game, psychologically, that's going to put us in a better position in the game going forward. But on the opposite swing of the pendulum, the opposite energy in the football game, the missed field goal at midfield just about has the opposite psychological effect on both teams. And it kind of makes us think, look, we tried our hearts out, we gave our last gasp, but we just can't get over this hump today. This is not our week. And it makes the Jets think, well, we got them right where we want them. It's been a tough go. It's been a tough game, but they're on their third-string quarterback. They just dropped the ball. They just missed a field goal. Our young quarterback is in the game. We're confident with what he did against the Steelers. We're confident with what he can do now. We're going to drive back down the field, and we're going to score. And psychologically, that affects everything too. So that's kind of where we are with that game. But because the NFL is nonsense, this is where we are. Now, the good news this week, and the good news, it was actually today, is that Tua Tagovailoa is practicing. No, he's not doing full contact, all-out practicing, but he is doing football stuff, in the words of Mike McDaniel. He is practicing. So I expect, but McDaniel already ruled him out for Sunday. I suspect and I expect that Tua will be back for the game against the Steelers. And that's a winnable game, to say the least. What worries me is going against a Minnesota team that's playing well, that is a decently good team, upper part of the NFC, trying to contend, keep pace with the Packers for that NFC North division. We are going against them, even though it's at home, and we still have our third-string quarterback. Now, apparently, X told reporters he is going to play Sunday. X told reporters he is going to play Sunday, which is great. But McDaniel said, we'll have to take the whole week to find out if he can play or not. Armstead, who I thought was definitely out because he had to see a specialist in New York, maybe things turned out better than we thought. Armstead is going to have to take all week to see if he can play. So he's not definitely out, which is also a good sign. If Armstead has to sit out for one more game to get healthy for the season, I say do it. It's not like we have Tua in this week. Sit them one more game. Now, is that ideal? No, we want to stay well above 500. If we win this game, we're 4-2. That's a pretty damn good record. Going into what people say is a soft part of the schedule. I put that in air quotes because no team is really soft in the NFL. No team is really soft in the NFL. So, you know, it's not going to be easy no matter what the team is and no matter who the team is. Period. But it is a softer part of the schedule, and if you get Tua back, and if you get some of these guys back, we can make a run. So if you got to sit a guy out for this game, sit him out while Tua's out. But at the end of the day, we really got screwed with this concussion protocol stuff that's going on and this media hype. This Teddy Bridgewater thing is not right. I'm not taking anything away from the Jets because we beat the Bills, but we didn't beat the Bills with the third-string quarterback. We beat them with a beaten-up secondary. It's a little different. If we had the beaten-up secondary with our corners out, but we still had Tua, then it would be a little bit more of a feat. But I'm still not taking anything away from the Jets, quite frankly. And Cap asked a question, we cannot afford to lose this game. With that being said, hypothetically, would you bet $500 the Dolphins will win the next 3 games, Larry? No. No, I would not bet that. No. I think we probably lose this Sunday, quite frankly. And I'm not 100% like we're definitely going to miss this game. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here saying I'm confident we're going to win it. If I had to bet and my life or my life savings depended on it, unfortunately, I would bet against Miami. It's just hard to win with your third-string quarterback, a 7th-round rookie against a good team. It's just tough. It's just tough, especially with all the psychological beatings we've been taking. So it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. So I would not bet $500. But if we win it, look, if we can pull this out with Skylar and get to 4-2, it's hard to go 3-0 in the division, by the way, especially this division. The Jets are not the old Jets, and I know I heard so much from Jets fans on the comment section of the last video. I heard so much from Jets fans the last couple days because they're sitting here saying we got young talent, we're not the same old Jets. And I'm getting mad about it. But at the end of the day, it's true. They're not the same old Jets. They're not an 0-17 team. They're not a 2-win team. They're going to be probably like we were the last couple of years, at or under or right above 500 the way they're playing right now. So we beat the Pats. We beat Buffalo. It was going to be hard to beat the Jets anyway. It sucks that we had to go through what we went through to lose to them because I think with Tua, we beat them. I think with Tua, we probably beat Cincinnati too. So it's just a tough way to lose. But make no mistake, if we go 4-2 and then we get Tua back for a night game against Pittsburgh, and then we go embark on this schedule we have, I think our prospects for the season are still looking very good. And think about it. Football is week to week. You have a bad loss, all week it sucks. You don't want to listen to anybody on the podcast. You don't want to listen to the news. You don't want to watch the power rankings. You don't want to watch ESPN. You don't want to listen to the radio because no one's talking how great your team is. Everybody's bashing your team. But the next week, if you win, everybody forgets what happened the week before. No one's going to be fretting over the Jets if we win the next couple games. So if we can go in there and we can win and we can beat Minnesota and go to 4-2 and then get Tua back and get healthy and make a run, this season's looking great. On the contrary, if we go down to Minnesota and we're 3-3, we're at 500, it's basically just like the beginning of the year all over again. You almost wipe out those first 3 wins and you start almost 0-0. You're 500. You got to build yourself up again. 1 loss and you're a losing team. 1 win and you're a winning team. That being said, that's a little simplistic because the wins that we banked were against AFC playoff contenders and 2 in our division. So the division win against the Pats, the division win against the Bills, and the conference win against the Ravens and the Bills were huge for us. So they're not all created equal. Wins and losses are not created equal in this league. At the end of the year, we're gonna be pretty upset we lost to the Bengals and Jets because those are conference losses. And we're going to be very happy we beat the Bills and the Pats and the Ravens because those are conference victories. So Minnesota, if we had to lose a game, I would rather lose to Minnesota because Minnesota is not a conference team. And Minnesota is not a division team. So if we lose to them, that's the best loss to take. And I'm not saying we're going to lose, but if we have to, we have to. And it's going to suck for us as fans. And I see Cap in here saying he gets tired of crawling up in the fetal position every time we lose. And Zach, what up, bro? Thank you for that with the Wake icon. I love Wake, man. I agreed with you on that whole little snafu you had on the Dolphin end. But end of the day, man, I don't want to lose because I'm sick of going through every week as a loser. It just sucks. It ruins my Sunday night. It's not fun. It ruins it. It ruins my hangout, my beer, my food. It just ruins my day as a football fan. Shoot, it ruins my week. It ruins my content consumption of Dolphins-related football stuff. I hate it. But we can survive a loss on Sunday. Though the sky's not falling, the world's not over if we lose. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about it. I don't expect to win, but I know we can win. We can win, as John said in the chat. We can win. I'm just not sure we do win, but we definitely can win. And, this is another test for McDaniel because a lot of people were talking too, why do we have that tight end in there who dropped the damn pass? We could have had Mike Gesicki in there because he just has a vendetta against Gesicki because he can't block. Other people said, well, Gesicki whiffed on a block, got somebody hurt. There's a lot of sides. There's a lot of sides to that story. But I'm looking at McDaniel right now, and I'm saying this is a test. You got a full week with a competent quarterback. This is a third-string rookie who came into a game cold, not knowing he was going to play, and gave us a chance to win. And, yeah, he threw some picks and interceptions, but at the end of the game, coming down to the fourth quarter, when we were driving down by 2 points, he wasn't the reason we kind of flipped the game and lost. So you got a competent young player, and you're supposed to be an offensive guru who can scheme people and outsmart on the X's and O's side. Well, you better be able to scheme a way to be competitive in this game, even with Skylar Thompson. So this is another test of McDaniel because, remember, just because we like McDaniel from the first 3 games, just because we like Tua again the first 3 games, doesn't mean the jury is not out on whether Tua can stay healthy, on whether McDaniel is the right answer at coach. We're still not 100% positive one way or the other. We're still not 100% positive one way or the other. So I want to see what he does against Minnesota. I want to see what he does. And Cap says, the past 3 years we've missed the playoffs by 1 game. We can't afford to have that mindset. I'm sorry. I agree. I'm not saying I'm cool with 500 at season's end. I'm just saying 3-3 right now is not the end of the world because the rest of the season's left. We could still wind up winning a bunch of games, being 14-3. I mean, we could still win a bunch of games getting healthy. I'm not saying I'm cool with a 500 season. I'm just saying this Sunday, if we go 3-3, it's not the end of the world quite yet. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not going to like it. I'm just being honest. You know how I do in this channel. It's an objective, legitimate channel. I'm not going to cry about it if we lose because it doesn't mean the season's over. At the end of the year, if we're around 500 and we miss the playoff, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. But I'm not there yet if we lose Sunday. It's just the way the situation is. You can't crawl up and give up if we lose this Sunday. You just can't. A Google user says Skylar Thompson put us in a position to score 20 points in his first game of his NFL career. Name another QB that did better. Yeah, I'm not down on Skylar. I'm not thinking Skylar is a prodigy who's amazing. We'll see if he shows me that Sunday. Maybe Skylar comes out and lights it up, and now we have a little bit of something to talk about. He didn't give us anything to talk about. The guys who wanted Skylar in, you got to slow down a little, I think. But he also gave us a lot to be encouraged about. There's certainly no reason to be down on the kid. Certainly no reason to be not confident in the kid. Let's see what McDaniel and the kid can do Sunday. And if we lose, it's not the end of the world. That's pretty much it. Now I'm bringing these guys onto the panel. We're going to have the good, the bad, the ugly from Sunday from Shake. We're going to have, Shake Up the News. We're going to have Greg's thoughts. We're going to have everybody's thoughts. I'm bringing them up. Then I'm bringing up the panel. I see all you guys talking about Skynet and all this. This stuff's getting crazy in this chat, man. This show is getting crazy right now, even though we lost to the Jets. That's why Fury Fam is the spot to be on Wednesday friggin' nights. Let's go. I got Greg and Shake. What up?
What's going on, man?
How y'all feeling today?
Another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Yes, exactly. See, I like that. I like that way of thinking, Shake. I like it, bro. So because Greg was in this thing, and all I saw was Greg just like make it. A, he was eating because he usually eats during the show. That's just his thing. I dig it. I respect it. 2, he was just making a lot of gestures, but I couldn't hear him. So Greg, what are your thoughts on everything I said, the game, going forward, everything? Because I just saw you like getting out of your just going wild. So tell everybody.
Yeah, first off, I want to say the NFL, I think they're overreacting. I saw the Teddy video. I know say. He looked like he was fine, but if Josh Allen, Herbert, Tom Brady, if I see one of them do the same thing, I'm going to be calling out the NFL. Just saying.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of ridiculous. At least a quarter or a half would have been fine. But yeah, I want to talk about Skylar. I actually love Skylar. I loved him in the preseason. I like him too. I want him to succeed, but I also like Skylar. I like what star. But man, in that game, I did not see the Skylar Thompson from preseason.
We didn't, right? We just I don't expect to. We
Yeah.
wished we did. We wanted to, but I mean, we didn't. We just didn't.
Yeah. That game plan, like people were saying in the community this week, it was for Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know what switch up the game plan or something. Like we didn't get any RPOs or like any bootlegs, rollouts like Tyler was doing in the
Right.
field goal. I felt like after that
What on earth? What on earth? I mean, that was a hell of a sound effect, Shake. I mean, I don't know what was that. Was that in response to Greg's comments? Was that just in response to Skylar's play? Was that to the people in the What was going on, bro?
Sorry, too much Taco Bell. No, I'm just playing. That was just my trip.
Well, I got too much Taco Bell too many times a week, man. I'm in trouble, bro, for real. But I hear you, bro. I hear you. So, Greg, finish your thought, bro.
Oh yeah, like I said, that field goal, it all went downhill. That I knew once he missed it, it was over. I'm not gonna want to come up. Believe me, I want to come up here and blast Sanders all I want. But bro, I can't hit.
Right.
Take a field goal, so I'm not gonna go there. But Sanders used to be money. He's kind of not money. I hope he can rebound it. It's only one field goal. I thought they could have punted it, but hey, given with our third string, thinks the field goal gives us a better shot. Do it.
Yeah, and I get that too, and it kind of looked like it was going in from my seat for a while until I saw the Jets fans like, and they were sleeping, like they were kind of sleeping towards that point because we were playing them much better than they had anticipated with the third string guy. They were kind of complaining, and the Dolphins fans, we weren't like hyped up, but we were kind of like starting to feel a little bit like, oh, we might win this game. Like, I can't believe it. And then when that field goal got missed, they woke up. The Jets woke up, and I think the Miami Dolphins fans in that stadium, and there were a lot, and the team kind of was like, man, we are just not going to catch a break, bro. And I think from there, I told you, I left it was like 25-17, and then it wound up being 40.
Yeah.
I don't even know when that happened because I left, and all the Dolphins fans, all you saw was a mass exodus of Aqua and Orange. I don't know what the hell happened. It's not really the story of the game, though. And so I think after that missed field goal is really when things went downhill, like pretty much period.
Strip sack. If you did strip sack. That led to a fumble picked up by Quinn Williams, return for a touchdown. I think that made it like 7.
Yes. Yeah. And he's a good player, it's going to get them hyped, too. I mean, their role players that are supposed to be good players are playing well. So the Jets are going to get more hyped. The fans are going to get more hyped. It is what it is. And like I said, I've been to every game the last, I don't know how many years. I haven't lost in that stadium in forever. If I got to take an L, I got to take an L, and I took an L. And good for them, I guess. They're rivals. They won. I'm not going to be like the Bills fans and cry for the next month that we were so injured. Boo-hoo. The Jets beat us. I'll see them in Miami. Like, I won't cry, bro.
Bills fans were acting like they were Jets fans.
Yes. It's ridiculous. Like, they were so hyped up. Like, oh, like, bro. I'm not going to be a baby like the Bills fan, so you can't even get me to go there. Good for the Jets, good for them winning, and that's that. I'm not going to cry about it like they do. Shake, my brother,
What's
what are
going
your
on?
thoughts, man, on everything I ranted about, the game, Skylar, Tua, concussions, McDaniel going forward, the Jets? What's your thoughts, bro?
It's like I told y'all a few weeks ago. You guys hear an echo, by the way?
No.
Okay, that's just me then. That's fine. Listen, before Miami Dolphin wins are like cold days in Florida. There's few in between, so I enjoy them while I get them. So I don't care how they come or when they come, I enjoy them. So at the end of the day, like you said, a loss is a loss. When they do the playoffs, they're not going to be like, well, these two teams have the same record, but you know what? This guy had a loss with a third string quarterback, and this one had a loss with a first string quarterback. Let's put this guy up. No, they don't do that shit. So it doesn't matter. a loss is a loss, and we just, like you said, we got to take it on the chin and move on to the next one. But I am encouraged that this team hung in there that long. I'm not saying we lost because of X, Y, and Z. We lost, but at the same time, it's encouraging to see that we put up a fight with a decimated team. So that tells you right there that hopefully Chris Greer can learn his lesson and realize that the trenches are, you could bring all the good coaching you want, you could bring the freaking Picasso of coaches, and it's still, if you don't have the talent, you're not going to do nothing. You know what I mean? And hopefully,
Right.
in the next offseason, they'll invest a little bit more into the trenches.
Right. And I think, at the end of the day, like I said, there's no excuses, but at the same time, there's still objectivity and realism as we discuss our team. It's not to be construed as an excuse as to why we lost and cry about last week. It's more to really break down the strengths and weaknesses of our own, team. And the fact is, not many teams in this league, if any, are winning with their third-string quarterback who's a rookie going into the game, cold and without practice reps. Very few are winning. Also, minus their 2 starting corners, who are star corners in the league and who the defense runs through. Not an excuse. We got to build better depth. We got to be better prepared. But that is going to be an impediment to any team, and it's definitely an impediment to our team where we have some talented young corners, but they're not quite there yet, and it's just what's going to happen. So, that's where we are, Shake, and that's kind of, how I feel about it. Now, I got a little something for you, bro, because I want you to go into this next segment. I want to talk about this game, so I want everybody to stand by because this is a new segment we're having. He already did it once, but here's what we're going to do with this, man. Shake, this is your...
The good. The bad. The ugly.
Shake, tell us about the good and the bad and the ugly from Sunday, bro. That's going to be the intro now.
All right, I'm gonna. You know what? From now on, I'm gonna do it Dolphins, but next week I'm gonna do everything, the whole NFL.
Okay.
But the good, like I said, the good was that we were we were competitive the whole game, to the dam broke at the end of the fourth quarter. So that's the good. The bad was the fact that Skylar Thompson didn't have enough time to throw. You know what I mean? The offensive line didn't give him any time to throw. I think that even though it was a third string, even when Tua was out there, if he had that type of pressure in his face, no quarterback was going to sustain that type of pressure. And the ugly, that spotter saying that Teddy Bridgewater was a concussion, that was ugly. I don't care what nobody says. Dude, you have 50 billion people watching, 50 billion camera angles. You're going to trust one guy in a binocular. Give me a break, bro. That was ugly.
I like that, bro. And listen, that segment, you do whatever you want. You want to do the round of the league, you want to do Dolphins, just do it. I like it no matter what. I think that's a great segment. That was your idea. So I agree with those. Yeah, I agree with those three. And then, Shake, you got news from around the league? You want to shake it up a little bit today or what?
Yeah. Speaking of shaking up, today we found out that Tua was back at practice. So I'm wearing my blue Hawaiian. And in honor of Tua coming back, I'm going to make my blue Hawaiian. I'm going to shake it up a little bit.
I like it,
I'm
bro.
going to shake it up before I shake it up.
I like it, bro. I like it. I love it. Tua being back, man, I just think, look, I know a lot of us started the season skeptical. I was skeptical because of his body of work, but this is, again, is an objective channel. As new facts come in, unlike some other people like the NFL executives, I follow the science. I follow the facts. Tua looked good the first 3 games, damn good. I'm excited for him. I think we need him. I think the offense runs best through him. I don't think it's even debatable right now. Can he stay healthy? That's probably the biggest knock. And then if he doesn't keep the same level of play the rest of the season, we'll have the conversation. But for right now, I think it's obvious and evident that this team and this offense was built around the way he plays, and we need him to play. So getting him back at practice is huge. Like I said, that's why I'm not going to be thrilled if we lose Sunday, but I can take it because of where we're going. We have some finality to the Tua situation. We know he's coming back soon. We know we got to get guys healthy. We know how well we can play when everybody is healthy. That's why it's not the end of the world to me. But that's kind of where we are, man. Cheers, bro. I got my Purple Haze here, this raspberry infused beer. One of my favorites. It's just always been. And plus, I love that Hendrix song, so it is what it is.
I got my football gas going. See my football gas?
Oh, I love it. I love it. And that Cameron album too, that Purple Haze album from back in the early 2000s. For those that remember that Dipset.
Don't forget Jimi Hendrix, right? You said Jimi.
Yeah,
Hendrix.
that's what I said. Yeah, Hendrix first, but then Cameron came up with the album later. I just posted the link, man. Anybody who wants to join the panel, man, go ahead and click it. We'll bring you on and get your thoughts.
I just wanted
So I got the two pieces of news I want to say is, speaking of, I know we pushed back the shake, but speaking of pushback, Devontae Adams is looking at suspension for pushing that cameraman.
I saw that, bro, but I didn't see the push. Was it bad? I didn't see it. Dude,
he claimed that the guy ran in his way, but no, he literally walked towards the guy and pushed him down.
Wow.
He fell. As a matter of fact, the guy is pressing charges, filed police report. The guy that he pushed, because he had to go to the hospital for minor bruises.
That's crazy, bro. That's pretty messed up. I heard the guy got hurt real bad. He might have had whiplash. I don't know if he was just exaggerating or what happened. I don't know, but whatever. Yeah, true. Bleeze, what up, bro?
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, Bleeze? How you feeling, brother?
What's going on, Fury fam?
West Side.
West Side, baby, holding it down post-hurricane.
Yes, sir. How's that going? How's the cleanup going?
Man, we're starting to get back to normal a little bit. It's going to be a long time cleanup, especially for Fort Myers Beach. But all the surrounding area, we're bouncing back. We're good. We're good.
All right, that's good to hear.
There's some trees. That's it.
What's that?
There sure is a lot of trees.
Oh man, yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But as far as the Dolphins, I'm thinking this weekend, in my opinion, this is a huge game for the Dolphins. I think it's a pivotal game as far as we're going to go one way or another after this, I think.
You
know what I mean?
Bleeze, you think if we lose, we kind of start a downward spiral?
Yeah, I think we're on that. I think the fan base is on the verge of, yeah. I mean, if we get, but this is the type of game where, I think we could lose, but that's the type of game that the Dolphins win.
Right. Well, we need to if we're going to be a true playoff caliber contender for the
next
several years. Yeah.
That's what I mean about it being a pivotal game. If we win, we're back on track. We're going into a favorable schedule, and that's why I think this game is really big, man. I really do.
It's huge, and I'm gonna be watching on bated breath and going crazy. I hope we win. I'm just trying to prepare myself to not jump off a cliff if we lose.
Right, exactly.
But I agree. Bleeze, the difference between starting 3-0 and winding up 3-3, which is a dismal failure, really, and starting 3-0 and winding up 4-2, which is putting yourself in a good position, is huge.
It's a big difference.
You're right. And then you get, the internal conflicts sometimes arise if they don't know what the coach is doing. And
that's what we do not need.
Yeah, and
exactly,
the media chirping even more, and then us chirping. I hear you, Bleeze. I hear you. You know how it goes, bro.
That's it.
You know how it goes. So I hear you. So let's get John on. Johnny, man, I like the gear, bro. I spotted him.
What's up, John?
Right? He got Shake got some gear on for two with the Hawaiian, but John comes on with the damn hat. That's some fly stuff right there.
That is fire.
Dapper.
He reminds me of Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, bro. He looking fly right now. So,
Mortal Kombat. Yeah, all right. That's John, what it was like. That's what it was like during that Jets game, wasn't it? Mortal Kombat, boy. It was unleashing on us.
Yes.
Hey, man. Love being on the show. Good to see you, Larry. Good to see you, Shake. Good to see you, Greg. Bleezy. Heck yeah. Let's go, Dolphins. Hey. Yeah, so I don't know. I just wanted to get on and kind of talk a little bit about Skylar. I know he didn't look so good, but that's a really tough situation for a guy to come in and I just think back to all the quarterbacks we've had as the Dolphins, and almost every single one was anointed before the season even started. Whether it's draft pick or free agent status, we always have our quarterback. It's always going to be the best year we've ever seen. And what happens typically ends in depression, right? And here we got Skylar, all right? The dude's not supposed to see the field at all.
Yeah.
And here he is, week 5. He's on the field, second offensive play. My dog's going nuts over here. She wants the ball.
It's all right. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a rookie.
Yeah, she's like a wide receiver, man. She's like, throw it to me, I'll catch it, no
throw me the damn
problem.
ball.
I'm no running back. Like I'm good. I got the hands. It's caught. So, but yeah. So looking at Skylar, I'm really intrigued by the guy, and he just feels almost like a lottery ticket that we just found. And we had almost no expectations for the guy, even in the draft. Frankly, 7th round QB, I forgot about him. And he's starting to perform, in the preseason. And I know we got Tua and I know we got Bridgewater, but let's face it, Skylar took some hits against the Jets and
he did.
kept getting up. And he took some head smacks real hard to that turf.
Yes.
And I imagine Tua being out there in that head smack. Guys, I don't know if the NFL is going to let this dude back out on the field, honestly. I mean, one head smack, they got to be terrified. So anyways, good to be on. I'm different from the fan base. I'm looking at Skylar like this might be the long-term thing. I'm not so confident Tua's going to be back out on that field at all. I think there's some serious politics involved in the NFL.
Yeah,
they're in play here, and you just can't guess what they're going to do.
I think you're right that you can't guess what they're going to do. I think you're right that the optics are incredibly tough for them to let him back on the field. I actually think in a normal situation with your starting quarterback and your team kind of drowning a little bit, you put him on the field this week, whether if he clears protocols, but they're not going to do it because of those optics. So I'm not so sure that they're going to go as far as not letting him back on the field at all, but I guess we'll see in a couple weeks. I'm not discounting your anticipation of that because they do a lot of nonsensical overreacting things. And yeah, you're right. That would be an absolute tragedy if, God forbid, something happened to him on that field. They are not ready to take that risk. And our O-line, you touched on something, John, that Skylar was taking all those hits. Our O-line is banged up, and they're still not looking great. And if we don't invest some serious – I know we invested in Armstead, but if we don't invest in some more serious resources in that O-line this offseason, I got to question Greer's philosophy because he's done a pretty good job in other aspects. But if he can't get that O-line figured out finally, you got to question him because that's the catalyst for a lot of our problems, including the quarterback taking those type of hits. So
hey, you know what's funny? I want to piggyback off what you're saying. What's funny is that look at the GM for the Jets. His first 3 years, he drafted offensive lines all 3 years in high picks. As a matter of fact, he traded up to get an offensive lineman. So right. Joe Douglas, I think that's his name, he knows that the trenches are important, and that's why the Jets have been a lot better team going forward this year because he knows how important the trenches are, and he's been investing into the trenches.
Yeah, why do you think the 49ers are perennial contenders the last decade? And why do you think the Cowboys are running the ball so damn good a couple years ago with all those running backs? Because they invested in the O-line first and foremost. We do invest in the D-line, but you got to invest in the O-line too. So let's see where that goes. But I want to give Lakers a chance to speak his piece, man, because he's been sitting in the chat waiting to get on for a while. Lakers, what up? It's always great to see you. What's on your mind?
What's up, man?
Go Heat.
Hey. But we good, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? The game, I feel like Skylar's going to be our quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I'm with John on this one. Skylar, he didn't really play that bad. People saying that he's trash, but it's his first game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was trash at all. I think the dude was pretty good. I just don't know if he's to me, being honest, I don't think this year he's the dude. I really don't. Going forward, it's possible for sure. And I think they kept him on the roster for 2 reasons. Number one, he's either going to be the backup quarterback and he's going to be a solid one the next couple of years. Or number two, they think he's got a chance to unseat Tua and be the future. I think both of those are possible, not only in my mind, but in the coaching staff and the GM's mind. I think they are. But I don't know if he's ready this year the way Tua was playing before he got hurt. That's just my opinion. I think he could still be the future, though.
Well, we're about to find. We're about to find out. We're about to find out, right?
Well, let me ask you guys, the panel too. Lakers, I'll ask you. I'll ask Bleez. I'll ask Greg. I'll ask Shake. Man, because John put forth the argument that he doesn't think the NFL lets Tua see the field for a while. What were your thoughts on that? I gave you my thoughts. Lakers, you first. Then we'll go to Bleez.
When I first, saw the game, this first game with Tua in the Bills and this last one with the Bengals, I agree with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tua should play because, you know what I'm saying, the head and the brain is like, the most important brain, like the most important thing on your body. You feel me? And you're playing football. So if he gets another like concussion, you know what I'm saying, we don't know what's gonna happen. So people saying, oh, they're saying let him play this Sunday or the Steelers game. It's like these defensive players and these defensive coaches, they know that Tua has injuries, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna come for him.
That's true.
And you know what I'm saying? And our O line is not really doing anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not really playing great. So we're gonna put Tua in the game and then our O line, you know what I'm saying, messes up and then Tua gets injured again. And then what we're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Do you think that they're gonna hold him out because of that? Do you think he's not gonna do it? Do you think? I know that opinion makes sense, but do you think he's actually not gonna play for that reason? Or you think he's just gonna go in anyway?
I feel like fans gonna want him to play, and then they gonna be like, yeah, let's play. But me, I don't want him to play at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like to see somebody like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like freaking passed out on the floor playing sport that you love. You feel me? Like I thought he was dead.
I want. What if the NFL made him an undercover settlement already, and we don't even know it? To just walk away.
That'd be a quick ass settlement, I'll tell you that much. I mean, and I think these reporters would have found out about it, to be honest with you. I think if that was the case, and then they're playing the game that McDaniel is playing, like he's practicing, and we don't know, and they're acting like there's not a settlement. That's crazy. Like I don't know. I don't think they did a settlement. I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think that's where we are. I think where we are is just absurd. I think the NFL's overreaction, I don't think, is keeping him out of the game. I don't think the NFL's reaction is a settlement. I think the NFL's reaction is what we saw with Teddy. It's overzealous, unilateral rule changes that are too much of an overreaction. If you remember, this is what happened with the Saints when that pass interference call happened, and the next year you were allowed to challenge non-calls of pass interference. I thought it was an overreaction. I thought it was a terrible rule because some games are refereed differently. Like some games, they let them get physical. Some games, they don't. You can't throw a flag for non-call pass interference. So I think that is the overreaction. It's the way that they're going about this concussion protocol with these spotters. I don't think it's going to go to the level of yanking the dude, but everybody's opinion is valid. It's possible. I just don't think so. We will see in a couple weeks.
Hey, Larry, before you let anybody go, if people don't notice that Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, right? Those defensive players did the same thing that the Bengals defensive player did to Tua, and they kind of stop that kind of tackling. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to see it again. The referees, they don't want to see it again.
That's another reaction. Yes. Yes. I think we're going to see it in these small, Von Joe's out here just going off in the comment section. So Von,
what's going on with Von?
I love him. You know I love him, but he just out here. He just out here. He gotta hop on, bro. We want to hear from you, bro. Hop on, just hop on right here. I'm posting.
I didn't say nothing about the undercover settlement.
Hop on.
All right, hey, so here's my
take. Go for it. Please go.
Okay, so here's my take real quick. The thing about Tua is, I think he relies on his footwork to get him out of trouble, and that's
but he's not
that's not good. That's not good.
He's not quick. You know what I'm saying?
That's
he doesn't have no ability.
Right. Especially when the linemen are only blocking for half a second, like Connor Williams did on that play.
Oh Lord!
And so, but Tua, he relies because his footwork is really good. It always has been. But I think he relies on that, and he's trying to make a big play. And then so that is on him. But I agree, man. When that happened, that was a really almost gruesome, you could say, play, man. And I don't know how much more of that as a fan base that we could take. If that happens again, the whole fan base is gonna be like, dude, retire.
Well,
it's a wrap.
Yes, especially if it happens again. And Von Joe was just saying He said undercover settlement. What the f? Tua ain't special. What's wrong with y'all? You know how many people have gone to sleep in the field. The NFL ain't doing that. He's saying Tua ain't that special. We've lost dudes to all kinds of other injuries. They never paid them an undercover settlement. He's saying, man, they ain't doing that. I agree. I don't think they're doing that. But that was just a kind of jestful little suggestion by John playing around and maybe possible, but just asking. So we ain't really serious about that.
It might be coming, man. You
know,
know,
talking, and I think maybe they do if he gets hurt again. Who knows?
Hey, that's all on me. But I mean, I honestly got to think there's a lot of mothers out there. There's a lot of kids who might have been watching that game, and that's not a look that the NFL wants. So I think this is a little more serious than the Miami Dolphins. I think this is honestly something against the shield here, and I don't ever recall seeing that type of reaction after a concussion. I mean, I didn't know what to think. That was just and I'm no neurosurgeon, right? I find out now that was, I don't know, fencing or something along those lines, but that was crazy. And I challenge any of you to recall an event like that.
Boxing. I'm a boxing fan. I've watched enough boxing. I knew he was knocked out. That's what happened when a boxer gets knocked out. His body locks up and his hands go up like that.
Hey Breezy. Let me ask you a question. Okay, so since you watch boxing, right? What does the referee do? Right? Does he just stop the match right there?
Oh, it's a wrap. Yeah.
Okay. So why did we even let him in the game in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, to me though, like they went through, because in boxing they don't have the chance to go to the locker room, do all these tests for a week, have him clear protocols saying his back was hurt, and then they don't have the benefit of that. They got to stop the fight or not, because otherwise he's going back in there and taking hits. I will also say that I've been knocked out before. One of my boys, man, we were drunk fighting. He punched me, knocked me clean out when I was like 17. I don't remember. Like I just remember saying something to him. Then waking up in my boy's car going to the hospital, he's like, "You don't remember? You got knocked out and all." And they said I was like walking around trying to get up. I don't remember any of my physical responses.
Yeah,
and I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what happened before or after. But my MRI was clear. My life was clear. I never had a problem again with my head ever again. I have no problems. So I'm not saying. I'm just saying sometimes people's bodies react a certain way, and I understand. John's point is completely 100% accurate and completely 100% on point. It from the standpoint of perception with youth football and things, it's already taken a hit. A lot of kids have already switched to flag football. My buddy is an NFL coach, assistant coach, and he won't even let his young kids play Pop Warner because of the hits, because he doesn't think the guys at the lower level know how to properly teach contact. The kids could get hurt. He'll let them play contact later, but right now they're playing flag. So John's point is very valid. It was very bad optics.
Yes.
But my point is, I don't know that just because the optics of his particular hit, and everybody's body reacts differently, but we've since seen that the tests, the medical, the progression through the protocol has been good. I don't know that just because the optics are bad, he's actually more at risk than somebody else. What I do know is that the NFL is going to act like he is because of the optics. So everybody has valid points here. I think it all kind of makes a complex reality.
And we're talking about the brain too. Yeah. That's kind of scary.
But
I'm listening. Who was saying something?
It was me. Look, check this out. I seen Warren Sapp cheap shot a guy and ruin his career for the rest of his life on TV. I seen Michael Irvin get almost damn near paralyzed on a Sunday night football game. Who's the guy who just retired? He played for the Washington Commanders. He broke his leg and then died because it almost got infected. So at the end of the day, this ain't gonna be the first or nor the last time somebody gets a brutal injury during a football game.
That's what I'm saying. But I understand the optics, but I still think. And these are grown men, too. They passed the protocol. The science and the medicine says they're good, man. They're going to play. And they should be allowed to, because at a certain point, it's their choice, and they've cleared the medical protocol. So that's my thoughts on that. Von Joe came on, man. He's shaking his head. He was at work. Now he's on. Bro, what's on your mind?
What's up, Von Joe?
Yeah. What's up, peoples? What's going on? You guys got me losing my mind here, because why we act like this is in America, people? And when I say that, we have the shortest attention span of anything. Actually, I'm going to say not even America. This day and age, this society that we live in, has the shortest attention span ever. This is gonna blow off by playoffs. Tua had a concussion. Who?
No, I agree with you, bro. That's why I think he's coming back against Pitt, and I think we're fine. I agree. I think they're overreacting now, but I agree with you that by the playoffs, and I'm even talking because that's how silly they are. They're gonna throw games that act crazy.
Ain't jack shit gonna change.
Yeah.
All right. Unless because it's not affecting their money. Guess what? After Tua got that concussion, how many people that next Sunday tuned in?
But they're scared of their money, though. They are scared that it's going to affect them.
I
That's why they
know,
got
but
these
Larry
unilateral
K,
people.
how many people still tuned in?
Everybody. Probably more.
Exactly.
But
So
point,
guess
bro.
what? their money didn't get impacted. It didn't hurt their money.
It's a good point. It's a good point. You can't argue.
Come on,
I agree
man.
with you. By the way, I agree with you. I do think we're gonna have a couple more weeks or a month of this nonsense with these spotters and this other and holding guys out longer than you normally would. Whether that's good or bad, I'm not making a judgment, but they're gonna be doing that more. But I do think it fades over time. I do think he comes back. I do think it blows over. That I do.
And
agree
even
with.
that's an overcorrection right now, and that's gonna get fixed soon.
Yeah. I can see it.
That's
Yeah,
gonna,
the little light blue one.
I don't know what's good. Shake's talking to somebody in the room.
Shake, mute.
Bro. Mute, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, it'll get fixed after Josh Allen gets that type of hit, and then they change the rule. I mean, it's going to hurt us usually, and then an overcorrection, of course. I mean, and honestly, Tua's been passing protocols. He should be on the field this weekend, and the fact that he's not should raise alarm with everybody because that is not protocol at all.
I agree it's not protocol. I think that's
not protocol at all. That's why it could be a back issue.
I think it's just what John's saying. I think they're holding him out. I think they're holding him out one more week.
No, seriously, no. Think about it. Remember in the Bills game, he said he had a back issue. And if you watch that New Orleans game, when he threw that ball short to Tyreek, and he didn't get full rotation, that could have been his back still being tight.
Von Joe wasn't even just that. It was the pass outside to Gesicki wasn't even what he would normally throw.
Exactly. So it could be a little tightness in his back, and when he got hit, that could have affected his back even more also.
Well,
so it could have been concussion and a back issue.
Look how long it's been since he's thrown a football.
Exactly. So I think they're hiding something from us.
So he's injury prone then? So it's a head and a back? I mean, what are we getting at here?
Yeah,
well,
he's Anthony Davis.
Bro, first of all, he's been injury prone. He's been hurt since high school.
Dang,
he has not completed a full. He hasn't completed a full season.
I think it's more the fact that he wants to kick the rust off and give him a week of nonstop practice. You know what I mean? Before he gets back on the field.
I'm just saying, but here's the thing, Todd. Why haven't they mentioned his back inning? Everybody been talking about concussion, but nobody has said anything about his back or his ankle.
Yeah, but remember when it first happened? He was going in for treatment every day to the team facility. You're not going in for treatment for a concussion. You're going in for treatment on your back or whatever else it is.
True story.
I think he's pretty much over that part of it. But what I think is they want to kick the rust off him because he hasn't been able to throw football because of the concussion in so many days.
And also,
but here's the thing: how come Teddy cleared the concussion protocol?
Teddy's situation is a joke because he never even stumbled one time on that play.
He didn't even have
Teddy's situation is a complete
but he still went into protocol. And he
here's the problem.
He went through a protocol faster.
I guess they can't take him off protocol until tomorrow.
And they will take him off tomorrow because he didn't have a concussion.
Exactly.
That's the truth.
But that is
they're just now getting Tua through protocol.
I've seen so many clips of him after that hit. He did not stumble one time.
Agreed.
Oh, no, that was BS.
Preach. That's why Miami Dolphins need to file a formal grievance against the NFL.
No. You know who needs to file a grievance is Teddy Bridgewater. Yep. Teddy Bridgewater needs to go to the Players Association and file a grievance. Go, where did I stumble?
Yeah, because that makes more sense. He's not the league. He's the player side. He loses incentives. He loses stats. He loses contract opportunities. They screwed him over, bro. You're right. He should file it with the NFLPA because now it's internal to them, not just the league.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the quarterback for the backup quarterback for the Giants is suing the Chargers doctor because of that injecting his lung.
Tyrod
That's
Taylor?
malpractice, though. That's a whole nother level of malpractice, bro. That's legit, just regular ass medical malpractice.
Yes.
But no, I bring that up because players have a right, because at the end of the day, that little concussion that he so-called called for could cost him some more money with another team. He could have put good tape to make his stock go up.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that is like, even if it was an outside doctor that had nothing to do with the game, he would have a grounds to sue on that same basis for loss of wages because the doctor committed malpractice straight up. But I agree with you. I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, in my mind, it has to be Teddy going to the Players Association. That's the way I would do it. That's the way I'd roll.
Makes sense to me. For damn sure, it makes sense to me.
So
now, we talked about who was going to say something.
I was going to say, I mean, Teddy's one thing, but I mean, what about Tua, guys? When is this dude going to be back on the field if he's clear?
I can almost guarantee you're going to see him against Flores in Pittsburgh.
All right, so let's vote. Greg, when are we going to see him back? Say it to game.
We're going to see him back again.
All right, he said Pittsburgh. Shake, when are we seeing him back?
Unfortunately, when Mr. Magoo comes back in week against Pittsburgh.
Oh, God, why is he coming back? Lakers, when are we going to see him back?
Pittsburgh.
John?
If the NFL has their way, not again this year.
Please?
Pittsburgh or the game after is what I'm saying.
I say Pittsburgh, but I don't really care about him coming back. I want him to stay on the damn field for Pete's sake. Just stay on the field. Because, guys, we still got 11 more games left after he gets back. Or 10 more games. Just stay on the fucking field. Pardon my language.
Stay on the field. It's okay.
Definitely Pittsburgh in my mind.
Me too. So we have a consensus. Doesn't mean anybody's wrong. It just means the majority of this panel thinks Pittsburgh. So we will see if we're right or wrong. I think.
But now, hey, I got a question for the panel.
Yeah.
Do you hold out Armstead now since Tua's not playing against the Vikings? Don't even bother trying to start him this game?
Yes, I don't start him because that toe can be a nagging issue, bro. If Tua ain't playing anyway, live and die, bro, with the backups. Like, don't play him. Let him get ready 100% to take on a soft part of schedule.
It was brought up on the morning show. Do you take everybody with nagging injuries and give them a week off and just throw this one away?
I don't know about everyone.
That's the thing. This is not the NBA, man.
I don't know.
That's the thing.
It's not the NBA, but it's not a.
The NBA has enough games. I know, but the NBA have enough games where you could throw out games.
You can't
throw this NFL. Every game counts. Like, how many times have we missed the playoffs by one game?
You're right.
Yeah.
But it usually doesn't come down to a non-conference loss. Usually.
I don't think we have any ground to give because we gave ourselves a 3-game cushion, and that's.
You know, we basically just gave away this Jets game when they yanked Teddy out after the first play. That was huge. We could be looking back at that at the end of the year. Like,
I agree, but here's my thing. I'm not saying hold out guys. Like, if X is determined to play and Tyreek is good, he's got a little like nagging injury, and Waddle's got a little quad. Play them. I'm not saying sit everybody like NBA, like load, you know. But if somebody like X is seriously going to play with real pain, and somebody like Armstead is going to play with real, and like, how would we feel if Skylar throws 3 INTs? We're going to lose anyway, but Armstead goes out for the season by aggravating that toe. We're going to be pretty mad. So
well, hey, hold up. Now you're talking about nagging injuries with X. He has a double groin pull, both sides. That's pain.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe keep him out this week. Like, not everybody, but those two, I would take out, bro. I would.
Oh, if we don't have X, we're definitely getting blown out.
Bro, we ain't done. We don't have
X does say he feels a lot better and he's ready to play. But now here's my question.
We don't have X out there.
Hey, when the hell are we going to see Byron Jones hit the field? That's irritating me.
And that's
Dude,
huge.
that's really irritating me.
Me too. Because that might not be until the second half of the season, if not later. That's good for a playoff run, but we can't wait for him. We got to win now without him. So I hear you. And by the way, just goes to my point, though. X is feeling that much better.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me on. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, Von Joe, man. You have a good one, man. Joe.
We see you.
You guys take care,
brother.
Take care, bro.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Larry, bro. I can't take this Nick Needham, bro. I can't.
He can't play on the outside, bro. He's great on the inside. He can't play on the outside.
Bro. If X don't play all Byron, bro, we getting beat. Our corners are bad. I'm sorry, Nick Neal.
Compared to their receivers, Minnesota has got some receivers, man.
No, I know that, but that's why I'm scared about this game and the Pittsburgh game because people don't understand that.
I will,
Pittsburgh, yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I will never forgive Byron Jones for screwing us with the J.C. Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing, but guys, I mean, look at we're going into week 6.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you feel like we're a glass house? We're down.
Yes.
Quarterbacks. Quarterbacks, linemen. I mean, it's just all over the place. A glass house. I just feel like there was so much hope, and then even Tyreek Tyreek's Tyreek, but Waddle, what's up? Like that don't look good.
Waddle's been hurting too, yes, but he's out there. He's still getting open. Problem was against the Jets, he wasn't finding them.
Yep. And here's the thing too. If X is feeling that much better from 1 week of rest, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying to do load management, but I'm saying, like, if you are struggling already and the dude has a real bad nagging injury, like, if X plays and X is, like, at 60%, 70%, then maybe it's not worth him playing. I don't know. I'm not saying, like, everybody. I'm just saying
I got a
question.
All right. I got a question for the fan base.
Yeah.
I hear this on everybody's so supportive of X. But they drop on Tua so quick at, missing games. How many games does X miss every year?
I heard Big O say this earlier. I think it was Big O. And I agree with you. I mean, I think, look, he said something like, would you take 15 games a year of Tua, or would you rather have 17 games of, like, one of the like John Beck? And it's like, obviously you take Tua. I think.
Does that include the playoffs?
No,
I mean.
No, of course not. If he's hurt every year for the playoffs or he's not clutching the playoffs, that's when you obviously talk about making a change. I do think that...
Because then we're starting John Beck. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Larry.
No, it makes sense. And I think quarterback is a different position than these other positions. Even a star corner is not the same as a quarterback.
Actually, these days with the rules, it kind of is.
It's... I don't know. I wouldn't say it's the same. I still say the quarterback with the rules
because you
is
can't,
the most
a quarterback can't touch
a
a receiver past 10 yards, so it's not the same.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but here's the thing. All right, so if the back's not important, then why is X and Byron Jones the face of our entire defense?
They're important. They're just not as important as the quarterback.
They are the whole key to what we run on defense, and that's the biggest downfall.
Yeah, it's huge.
Listen, nobody tanked for Jalen. Nobody tanked for X.
It's a quarterback. Cornerbacks are very important too. I'm just saying you can't compare the two. I mean, quarterback's much more important. I think everybody would agree, but that's the most important position on the team.
Yeah,
by far. I mean, I think, and like we could see it with Byron Jones going down. We could live, but we can't live without both of them. I agree. But if, say, Jones is healthy and X goes down a couple games, we could live with that more than our quarterback. I'm still agree with your point. If Tua has a couple games off, I'm still not getting rid of him for it. But we don't want him to be out 5 games and always be a risk to go down either. So it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, you gotta think about the 3 most important positions on the field: quarterback, corner, lockdown corner, and a blindside tackle.
Probably true.
And all 3 of them pretty much are injured for this game coming up.
Good point. That's why I'm saying I don't expect to win.
Don't y'all feel like we should have traded?
We need a pass rush.
Yeah.
All right, and a pass rusher, yes, but
look, if Skylar just completes that third down to Tanner Connor, you know what I mean? We're singing a different tune.
And that's on Connor. That's on Connor. That was the key of the game. I agree completely. But you also have to remember we have a running back who suddenly forgot how to catch the ball with Chase Edmonds.
Well, what's up with him?
And despite of that, we overcame everything. It just the Tanner Connor thing was the final straw, and then obviously the field goal miss. But
let me ask you a question. Why was it Tanner Connor and not Gesicki in that position?
I know. I've been mad about that. I've been saying.
Hey, that's on the coach.
Dude,
that's on the coach, man.
No, Lakers, right? It's on the coach. It's on.
That's on the coach.
Having a grudge against Gesicki.
Did you see the very first play of the game? Like, why would you draw that up? Or furthermore, you have a veteran quarterback, 7 teams or whatever, winning quarterback, whatever. He doesn't see a corner right in the slot. Like, are you kidding me? Like the first play, this guy's clueless, and he gets injured.
Hold up, wasn't it him in the him in the preseason that had a safety?
Same thing, dude.
That he wasn't paying attention.
Skylar has been destroyed at times with these hits, right? And he gets right back up. The guy's durable, right? Just give him more reps. He's going to be our future backup for years to come. Dude.
Hey, hold up. There's a reason he's 25 as a rookie. That's because he got injured in college and he had a waiver claim.
Right. So it's also conclusions. Good point, please. Thanks for that.
It's also because of the COVID year.
No, he injured it. I think it was his knee that he tore up.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is because of the COVID year, they could all call another year. So he called another year to raise his stock value. He didn't raise it by much. He's still a seventh rounder. But
hey, RD, you said something good about that first play with Bridgewater. I mean, what the heck? How? Okay, I'm no quarterback, but I think I'd be looking at the field and kind of looking for the blitz. What was Teddy doing on that? I mean, I just couldn't believe my eyes. What do you think I did?
You do realize that was a BS safe or BS intentional grounding too, because there was somebody within 5 yards of the ball.
He shouldn't have been taking that hit, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if that's a check. We paid Teddy good money to not have us in that situation, and we were in that situation.
But the thing about Teddy, he's also very slow to react. I feel like when he drops back, he doesn't get into throwing motion, or he doesn't turn around fairly quickly. He doesn't move his feet fairly quickly. It's like everything happens in slow motion.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like you got to get to the rhythm much faster.
It's like he never saw that guy coming.
Yeah, Tua is like a machine. The same thing with Skylar. Like they get into the emotions. I don't know what they see with this guy.
I will say also one thing. There's one player that if I was McDaniels, I'd be saying take him off the field, and that's Eichenberg. He needs to go. I don't care if it's our backup center going in and playing what he used to do at guard. I don't care if it's Robert Jones. Anybody is better than what Eichenberg is doing right now.
He was awful last year, man.
Yeah, I didn't like him last year. He was not good, right? I was never a huge fan. He has not played.
He was on skates all year last year.
Yeah.
I almost want to put Williams back at guard and bring in our backup center, Dieter back to center, because I'm looking at how many high snaps you are. I played running back, fellas, and a high snap will even mess with the running game because it's timing when you get to the quarterback and get the ball handed to you. If the snap is high, that means the quarterback has to go down that much quicker. A risk of fumbles, a risk of just the quarterback running into the.
The problem is Eichenberg doesn't even fit the screen.
Hold on, please. What do you? Oh, was that Shake? Shake, what are you saying?
Yeah. I'm glad somebody brought up the intentional grounding call, because that same intentional grounding call Josh Allen did in the Buffalo game, and it wasn't called an intentional grounding.
Okay. What about this? What about the hit Tua took where he got flipped around, which caused this whole drama? And then you look at what happened with what was it? Tom Brady, which wasn't even as bad.
Did you see Carr?
And then Carr, both of them.
And Mahomes too.
And did you see what they did to Skylar? They pounded him after he threw the ball into the ground, body on the quarterback, no call.
Hold on, I got the king of kings, because we're in this contest right now. How about when Teddy was slammed to the ground after the first play, but then Zach, the other quarterback, was barely tapped on the head for a sack, and they called us a 15. I don't even think it was a face mask call. It was the one after the face mask call. It was a hit to the head, but he
had back to back. It was back to back face mask.
Did you see the first face mask? That was a late call. They got the call from. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Like how come? They get to throw a flag 10 seconds after the play because they get it on their earpiece that was a face mask. It was a blatant face mask, but you missed it.
It was.
Like, if you're going to do it then, how come you're not doing it for the other plays? You know, that's like, we didn't get any breaks, dude. And it's like, when you look at...
And guys, quite frankly, I can care less if number 11 steps foot back on the field for us. I want to see Craycraft and Sherfield get his reps.
Dude, I want to see Azukama. If you're gonna play Skylar, he had chemistry with Azukama down the field. Did you see that?
I agree with you on that one too.
Did you see that throw he made to Mike Gesicki down the field? Have that part of the repertoire now. It's like Fitzpatrick with Mike, because he likes that. He plays like Fitzpatrick with the recklessness.
Honestly, I think they're holding out as a comma. First, I think they have a big plan for him because they are probably working him hard behind the scenes with something. And if you all recall, our offensive coordinator was with the Raiders. What did he turned a no-name wide receiver into an all-pro tight end.
It's possible. I will say the officiating in the Jets game, since we're talking about it, we got 2 big pass interference calls, which I thought were legitimate, blatant pass interference. Jets are crying about it. I think the officiating kind of seemed to – it went with the Jets in some key drives, but I wouldn't say it was the – I've seen worse is all I'm saying. Some of the calls made sense. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just saying they're not doing us any favors. When you look at the last 2 games, we haven't gotten any favors at all from, like, when you look at the overall game, right? Like, clearly the calls have been – skewed towards the home teams, right? Because we've been on the road.
Yes, that's definitely true. Yes, I've seen that for sure, and I've been at both games and definitely saw the calls skewed towards the home teams. Yeah,
I'm just getting sick of the hypocrisy in the NFL right now. Yeah, you don't know what officiating crew you're going to get calls from. They got to come down where this is the call, this is the flag, every game.
Right. No, and that's it. They're never going to do it because as long as you stay within the flow of the game, to me, like if you're calling a weaker game and you're throwing a lot of flags, okay, that's this game. If you're throwing a letting them play type of game, letting them get their handsy and stuff, keep it that way. Don't depart from it in a given game and ruin the game for somebody. If you're going to do that, that's okay. Like we've seen that before, right? In sports, we've seen that.
Keep it consistent.
Yes, for that game. Like, you know what I mean? And
look,
it's even becoming a joke where inside that one NFL show had that one comedian, I can't remember his name, on there, and they said, this is how you sack Brady, with a pillow and a blanket.
Right.
Okay,
when the NFL shows are making fun of the officiating, you got an issue.
No, right. Even
here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you're making these egregious calls, you know what I mean? You don't got to make them right away. Let someone beep you and say, hey, by the way, that's roughing the passer. Throw the flag 5 seconds later. It's not the end of the world. But like, make sure that the eye in the sky has more input, just like they do with the pass interference. They call a pass interference, and then they huddle around, like pretending they're talking, and then they get a phone call, like the guy buzzes in. No, it wasn't.
They took that away. They took that away.
They took that away. For real, I think. I really think they talk when they're talking. Like,
no, I'm saying the challenge they took away, but they're buzzing. Like, they're not buzzing, but the eye in the sky, the eye in the sky will tell them, hey, throw a flag here, pick up the flag.
I think what he's saying is when they throw a flag and then they huddle up and they pick the flag up, he's saying that they're getting a call from somebody who's telling them to pick it up. I'm saying I think the officials themselves are talking and they pick it up, but I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know the answer to that.
No,
know?
They get called in from New York on certain plays, and that face mask that we had. I'm not saying it was from New York, but that late face mask that we saw on the Jets quarterback, that was a late call, and under my understanding, that was called in to the refs on the field.
No, the running back one.
That was the running back one, yeah. So it's not just the rest on the field. They do have input from the eye in the sky, essentially. Yeah, so.
Makes sense. So I think maybe it could be that they pick up the flags because of the eye in the sky, too. I get what you're saying, and you need that check on them. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying with the latest transition to these calls of, like, late hits on the quarterback or unnecessary roughness. Listen, man, let the eye in the sky, 5 seconds delay, they'll know right away. Right, because they'll know what happened.
Yeah, but imagine being the team on defense and you got to wait 5 seconds for them to throw that flag. Oh, you're gonna be mad.
Well,
every big play.
Hey guys,
you're getting it right. You're getting it right. As long as you get it right, people will be okay with it.
I don't know about you all, but I'm kind of getting sick of something that Miami's defense has given up. I am so sick of the running back coming out the backfield and catching and getting mad yards on us.
Hey, that's on the
This is
linebacker
the
too,
third.
man.
This is the third straight game. Buffalo all the completions were to the running backs.
I think
Yeah,
it's the
because
way we
Jerome
play
Baker and Lyndon Roberts are useless.
Well,
So
we're also calling run blitzes and blitzes a lot of the time, and we're
nah,
pinching inside over pursuing. Throw right over our head, and our linebackers can't tackle because
Hey, you know
Jalen
who
Phillips
fault
is a
that
pass
is?
rushing specialist, and
It's
he
not
can't
a-
tackle, bro. What are we saying, Lakers?
Okay, so I was going on his what he's talking about, bro. I feel like, bro, the defensive coach, he's trash, bro. Like we need to get. No, I'm serious. This dude's
No,
trash.
no, I agree.
This
I
dude
agree.
is
here's
trash,
the problem.
man.
Here's the problem. And Lyndon Roberts and Jerome Baker out of the
Oh, Lord.
backfield pass coverage. So for running backs or whatever, they're useless. Eric
No,
Rowe
I know
was
that, but I'm
complete. Like
saying,
some of the players, right?
mm-hmm.
Like he has to scheme so much because we don't get natural pass rushing. Like Jalen
Guys,
Phillips is just not getting it done the way he's supposed to, right? You got to scheme these guys.
Hey,
You got to
guys,
always send 5 people.
But do you think
all right.
Flores had something to do with the success? Like something
Yes,
happened midway through
yes,
last
No, no.
year.
You know what had to
We
do
always
with the
thought it was
success?
Flores, and
yes.
everybody we
But
wanted to be happy this year, so we said it wasn't Flores.
People
It was
don't.
really
Larry,
Flores. Maybe it was Flores, yo.
Larry,
It is
Larry,
Flores.
Larry.
man,
One of the things,
Hold
one
on,
of the
who's
things
gonna?
that happened last year and the previous year before that, just look at the quality of teams and quarterbacks and coaches that we faced. The last 4 weeks, say 5 weeks, but especially the first 4 weeks, there was no gimmicks. So we got exposed, right? It's beginning of the year too, but we got exposed for the first time because you're facing good coaches, good schemes, good offenses, and they're not going to put up with your bullshit of like, we got away with a lot of mediocre quarterbacks. And trust me, this defense has always been a lot of glass and what do they call it? Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, smoke and
Yeah.
mirrors. It's
just
almost like Artie. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's almost like the other teams have kind of figured our defense out.
Yeah,
Because
You know,
our defense coach is trash. That's
I'm
why.
starting to think our defense has run its course.
You notice Van Ginkel's been missing in action all season?
Yes.
You look at that.
Well, I
He
don't
was
like him either. I don't like him, so y'all can go ahead. I don't like
he's
him.
played himself out of a big contract.
Yeah.
Trey Flowers, I haven't heard his name.
Yo, we traded for him,
Yeah, what's
and
up with
where's
that?
he
He
at?
hasn't even been active, has he? What are we doing?
Raekwon finally
And-
got a sack in his life, and
Raekwon's
it's
a
like
beast, though.
And
I
what
think,
about
in
our
run
rookie
stuff.
no, but just
linebacker,
for
bro? Like,
he's
what's up with
for
our
like
rookie
run
linebacker?
blocking. He's for run blocking, but he's never to.
And what happened to Agba? I haven't heard Agba's name much at all either.
Hey, I'm sorry, bro, but we gotta
Agba's
fire
been
the
bad,
fire the head coach. We gotta fire
Agba's
the
been bad. Now,
defensive
but
coach, bro.
are you guys saying that these guys have been missing in action, or are you saying it's because of the coach not properly using them?
I think it's the coach not using them properly.
I think our defense has run its course, man.
I'm almost thinking somebody's going to be done getting paid next year, and he's going to want to get back into coaching. And I'm thinking we should bring him back into coaching on the defensive side.
Who talking
And
about?
there's a coach in San Francisco. He took the job in San Francisco as a consultant.
Yeah, who is that? Why am I misblanking?
He played for He was Denver's head coach.
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio.
Yeah,
I
Fangio.
thought you were talking about Florida.
And I'm almost thinking bring him down here and let him run his 4-3 zone, because with the way our corners are set up, we have a young corner, Cater Kohu, who is a lot more efficient in a zone than he is man to man.
We're gonna need 3 new
But
linebackers.
all
By the
our
way,
other
Big
personnel
Banjo
on
is
the
a
line-
3-4 defense kind of guy. He never played the 3-4, 4-3. He always played the 3-4.
Okay, well then that's even better. Let's stick with what we have.
That's even better, bro.
hey, Larry.
Now I'm really interested. Yeah.
Hey,
Larry,
this
what's up?
defense
ahead.
wasn't bad against New England and against Buffalo. You know, I thought we looked pretty good. So what's happened to us? How did we get exposed? I guess I don't understand how we dropped so
Buffalo, we couldn't get off the field. We couldn't get off the field.
at all.
Defense, And the defense never generated any. Well, it did generate
They held
turnovers,
at
but
the end, and they got the turnover. They played okay against Buffalo. Look how Buffalo destroyed almost everybody else. Come on.
Our defense have had some sack fumbles too, guys. I mean, I thought we
on,
played pretty
even,
good.
even with the Jets, we handled ourselves up to the point.
I'm
where
not saying the defense as a whole.
Right, but
I'm saying the linebacking core is giving up plays to the running back over these last couple weeks that we shouldn't be giving up.
They were always a weakness, and they're getting exposed.
Look at the one play the Jets running back just took it to the 1 yard line, 70-something yards.
Well, I
and
also
that was
think
Eric
this. Think
Rowe,
about
though,
it. Our safeties are beasts playing the run. Think about this: with the secondary banged up, hobbled, and no Byron, they got to watch out for the pass game, and they probably playing more off than they usually would to make up for the deficiencies in the linebacking.
I am the biggest Javon Holland fan, and he is not playing up to his capabilities as of late.
Might be because he's worried about the guys in the secondary. I'm thinking,
Larry,
that's why.
Hey, Larry, my mom, right? Yeah. I watched the game with my mom, and she's like, "Why is our cornerbacks playing so far from the wide receivers?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Mom, because our defensive head coach, because we're playing zone, and that's not how we you know what I'm saying? That's not how we played last year with Flores. We played man to man."
Yeah, that's what I think the problem is we don't have corners, though. I really think it's X being hobbled and Byron not playing. If they played, I guarantee you we go back to man. All of a sudden, the safeties could look at the running back. They don't have to worry. All of a sudden, we could pin our ears back. I'm telling you, I think it's the health of the corners, though. I'm not saying it's Boyer's great, but I'm saying that's a big reason why we're not playing.
No, I tell you what. That's how our defense was built.
Yes.
Byron Jones really stuck it to us. When the trade rumors came out, he quickly got that surgery, and now we're sitting back going, we're screwed. He should have had that surgery the minute the season ended last year.
But
here's what happened with our cornerbacks. We lost Trill. We lost Xavier.
Yeah, Trill too.
We lost Byron, right?
Needham sucks.
Nick Needham is not a boundary.
Oh, God.
Nick Needham is not a boundary.
What are you talking about? Needham's not an active player on game day, okay? He's not even an active player.
No, you're talking about Iggy.
Iggy, yeah. Iggy's a total disaster.
I think Needham is a good slot player with those other two. I'm telling you, the defense was built with those two perimeter corners that are superstars. Without them, bro, and without Trill to be the emerging superstar, we are a lot has to do with the injuries. I'm telling you, because even Needham inside is better.
That's what
we basically lost our top three guys, and now you're asking for our linebackers to pick up the pressure and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but our linebackers can't play run.
It's a domino effect. It's a domino effect. Like we're getting exposed. The schedule didn't help. And
that's what
who are getting injured.
Okay. Who just said our linebackers can't play the run?
Me.
Our linebackers.
All right, hold up. So our linebackers can't play the run or the pass. We're screwed there, okay? Because they can't play the pass either.
Yeah.
I think they can. They're okay with the run, man.
So Landon Roberts, he can play the run to some extent. Jerome Baker is useless in everything except for if you use him as a linebacker, or if he just falls off to cover a tight end somewhere. But other than that, he's useless.
No, you know what Baker's good at? He cleans up the play after 7 yards downfield and gets his tackle.
Out of bounds.
What's up with our rookie linebacker? Why isn't he not playing either?
He had a couple snaps the other day, and he made a play, I think, from what I heard.
You can't play Tyndall and sit the captain or sit the guy that you paid. It's just not going to work out that way.
Plus, you got to remember, like every team, the way the salary cap is, every team is going to have some position group that's not as strong as the others. So I'm not saying we don't upgrade. We got to upgrade, but we always knew linebacker was a weakness. The problem is we were ready to eat it because we had superstar corners and safeties that can peep in the backfield because the corners can be relied on, so they can go bang up in the front seven with
our best,
and we can't do it now because we're hurt.
Our best player on defense is like 34 years old this year.
And who was that?
Melvin Ingram.
These two, but we got some other players. They all rely on being in the lead and having stud corners. That might be a flawed philosophy because your corners might get banged up. And if you don't have these guys,
our corners are known for being banged up. Look at last year against Jacksonville.
Yes,
we had neither of them in that game.
Do you know who's balling out though?
Who?
Our punter. Our punter is killing it, dude. Every
Yeah, we
time
got a
he's
good punter,
amazing.
but man, that's a punter. We're talking about
No, but
defense
That's
right
why
now.
we should have
that's
maybe
so
punted
If your
inconsistent.
punter's balling out, your team has issues. Okay.
No,
Where's our
but
Yeah,
field
that's not
goal?
good.
true,
Hey, but
true.
our
But
field
he's
goal, our
fading
field
us in
goal
field
kicker
position.
sucks, so that trumps that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
well,
but
we're not.
still,
Well,
though,
guess what? We're not worse. We're not. I don't want whatever.
we brought 2 free
So
agents
well,
with
and
Ingram and
Guys,
the punter.
Kevin in the chat saying when playing the Bengals, they
Mm.
shaded both safeties towards the non-Howard side of the field all game long. That's what I'm saying. Like these safeties used to be run beasts to make up for the linebacker deficiency.
I
Now they're
agree with
shading
that.
the
Mm-hmm.
perimeter.
They did
Yeah.
that, and look what T. Higgins did to Howard because Howard was out there with his pulled groin muscles. He couldn't
Yeah,
move.
dude. Yes. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying if he's still hobbled, we don't have
Hey,
to rush him because he's not good to us
hey,
hobbled, bro. I'm listening.
if X does not play, right, this
Mhm.
defense is in trouble.
He's playing though.
I'm saying, but let's say he doesn't
If
play though.
X doesn't play, I'm resting every
We're in
starter
trouble.
that's banged up.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
resting every starter that's banged up because X not playing, you might as well chalk it in. We're screwed.
You got to
So why not
schedule
just
losses instead of letting the team bleed to death the whole year. Just recover up everyone who's aching,
You know, yeah, it's
get the
funny.
losses, and start going.
It's funny you say that, RD, because some of you had said Buffalo exposed us. I
Mm-hmm.
think Buffalo exhausted us, and our
Yeah, I
defense has
think so
not been the
too.
same since.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a good point. That's a good point,
Yeah,
man.
but
That
the
was like our
injuries,
Super
though.
Bowl.
We were injured to begin with. Like we're just like the injuries are just from beginning of the off season, dude. We're plagued this year compared to last year, and that's catching up right now. And
We're beat up. We're beat
it's a
up right now.
it's a
We are beat up.
perfect storm as far as our defense, and it's
you guys?
obviously our offense too now. Like it's crazy how things shifted after week 3.
So
You
I
guys
have a question
do.
for y'all, right? Okay, look. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay. So why was our defense great? Not great, but why was it good with Flores? But now
Well, with Flores,
it's kind of sloppy.
we still
I think
sucked
it's
the
still the
first 8
injuries. We
weeks.
were hobbled early in that season too in
All right.
Philadelphia.
Hey, when we started off 1-8, we were averaging giving up over 30 points a game.
And then we
Now,
faced
in
bad
that
offenses.
situation, we had hobbled corners. Look what we're doing now with hobbled corners.
But we still faced bad offenses the last 7 weeks, and then when we faced Tennessee, they gave us the whooping. So it's like there was a lot of things happening there. Like don't go by what happened last year, the numbers, because they could be a little smoke and mirrors on what happened, right? Because of the competition. This year, like you can easily tell, guys have no business playing some positions, like Nick Needham outside corner, forget it. Jerome
Mm-hmm.
Baker being a middle linebacker at any point in time is useless, right? Because he can't do anything like that's even above average. So he's just good for blitzing linebacker and chasing after tight ends.
But wouldn't you move him?
But
Like,
you know
wouldn't
what's
you?
funny?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? People are trashing the cornerbacks, but and the Jets, the running back got the most receiving yards. Their wide receivers really didn't hit 100 yards.
Yeah,
So
but
the cornerbacks were doing their jobs.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah,
that's not
but
what. No, but my thing is the
Not on the outside, though.
safeties are focused on the perimeter and the back deep in the secondary because the corners are a
Because
liability.
they don't want to get
And the
beat.
safeties used to come up and beat the running backs a lot because they would make up for the deficiencies of the linebackers. I think it's not that the corners are blowing the plays; it's that they change the way we play defense.
Shake money. If the corners were doing really good, usually we would have got a turnover, right? But we didn't get any turnovers with the Jets. So it's like Nick Needham got burned on so many key
Zach
Oh
situations.
my God, we're just talking.
Wilson is a turnover machine, and we couldn't get anything.
Nick
Yeah,
Needham got
because
burnt the
X is
whole
not
game.
there and Holland cannot be playing as a spy the whole time because he was more preoccupied with stopping the run and guys were playing out of position. Like even when, like I said, man, if we had gotten that field goal, things wouldn't have unraveled. But it was the perfect storm of not executing. Like when you get sacked
I
for
don't
a
even care
safety,
about the missed field
first
goal.
play,
I don't care about the missed field goal. I care about the drop on second down where we.
Hey, check this
53-yard
out.
field goal is not easy, bro.
Hey, Larry, check this out.
I can't.
Check this out.
I
Yeah,
blame
but
the
that drop.
None of
that
the wide
drop was-
receivers.
I blame
None
the
of the
drop
wide
too.
receivers got more than 50 yards. The most receiving yards by a receiver by the Jets is 38 yards, then 27, and then 12. After that, those are the three top receivers by wide receivers, 38 yards, 27 yards, and 12 yards. So the cornerbacks did their jobs.
Hey, Shake Money. Hey, Shake Money. What do you think? What do you think
I wouldn't
Justin
say that. I would
Jefferson
say
is
that's
gonna
the
do?
game plan, man. I wouldn't say that.
Justin Jefferson is gonna kill our corners if X don't play.
I'm worried about Dalvin Cook out the backfield.
Yeah, him too.
What I'm trying to say is these receivers didn't kill anybody.
I know, but that was just
No,
the
they
Jets.
didn't.
We're talking about the Vikings.
But it's the
the
way
Vikings.
that
Jefferson, different story.
It's the way you
Yeah.
scheme and game plan, though. Like they might not have tested the corners because they knew the middle of the field was vulnerable based on how we were playing defense. That's the X's and O's chess game they played. It's not necessarily indicative the corners played well. It's just the Jets were targeting that middle like screen game because they knew our linebackers were weak. They were going to get a ton of yards. The way the safeties were shadowing the perimeter. That doesn't necessarily mean they played well or not. I'd like to see some grades, some film review. Was the guys covered like glue, or was it just the way the Jets were trying to also? Because Zach is remember the Jets were down like mad linemen. They were like on their fifth string tackle, so they weren't trying to hold the ball and get the ball downfield. Their game plan was to throw it and test those linebackers. So I wouldn't necessarily say the corners played well just because the Jets didn't throw it deep. I think that was the game plan, and it worked. That's what I think. When they wanted to go 30 yards, they did it, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question. Okay, so when X was playing good last year, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't we trade him to get a young corner that's like Alexander from the Packers?
A lot of people said we should.
Because Green Bay would never give up Alexander. They just signed him.
Right. That, number one. And number two, it's hard to find, and I think that Flores was in win-now mode. I think he liked X. X was his guy. I think Greer wanted to trade him.
Flores never liked X. X never liked Flores. But
Lakers.
Flores knew X was the way that defense was going.
Lakers, we should have drafted a cornerback.
How do you know like X?
We should have drafted a corner last year.
Did you guys test each other?
Yeah, we should have.
It came out in X's Texas.
Did it? What did he say?
X was popping champagne when Flores was fired.
Oh, interesting. But even
so, champagne when Adam Gase was fired. So what does that have to say about anything, bro?
They didn't like each other. There was mad hard feelings there.
As far as corners, we had like three.
Everybody, bro.
As far as corners, we had like 5 interviews with Asante Samuel last year. You know what I mean? And they gave Iggy every chance possible to sort of convince them that maybe he can move up. And then eventually they found out Iggy's shit. So they like gave extension to
Guess what? A year later, Iggy's still shit.
And he's like still 23 years old, which is crazy.
We also have Trill and other people in the system that might be good, but the fact is you don't just stumble across Pro Bowl corners just in your sleep. So they knew they had to find somebody in the pipeline. But even if Flores didn't personally like X, the fact is, to answer your question, Lakers, it was widely reported that Greer was looking to trade X because he was at optimal value to get return, to try to fill in the gaps with a younger guy. And Flores fought to keep him on the roster. Whether they were personally friends or whether he just thought he was the key to success is irrelevant. He fought with him to keep him on. And I can't say I totally disagree because this year we were trying to make a run too. If we go 4-2, we go 5-2, the whole fan base will be singing a different tune. Now we're making a run this year, and we ain't ready to get rid of a star player like X yet. But I agree with you, Lakers. It's the prudent thing to do. It's what the Pats did with Seymour. It's what these guys do if you're going to have longevity. I agree with you. But luckily he's not out for the year. But remember, we talked about Byron. They were trying to trade him, but he had the surgery. There's a lot of games going on. I agree. We got to get out of from these guys.
Byron should be a 49er right now if it wasn't for that surgery.
So and you got somebody like Trill. We're developing them. We're trying to trade them at the peak, but there you go. Like he would have maybe been traded had he not had it.
But like
we're stuck with
having these older cornerbacks is really hurting us.
Oh, I don't know if it's hurting us. I think it's just you got to pick. Like you never know when a star.
We're gonna have to move off of them. Yeah. We're gonna have to move off of Byron and X at some point.
Guys, it's gonna be hard moving off of X with the way they restructured that deal.
But here's the thing. Every player too. It's not easy to just say, oh, he's getting old, get rid of him. Everybody old, get rid of him. No, you coach them up till they develop into stars. You got to have it's hard to know when is the right time to say he's about to fall off or he's only got one more year again. You also want to have them to make runs and be good. So it's not easy just saying, oh, this guy's all good. No, you got to hold him while he's good to try to win, but then you got to know when to cut him off, even if it's a little early. It's not easy, though, I'm saying. It's not a science. Just go get rid of all our good players because they're old. Sure. It's hard,
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're still in effect right now. They're in their prime.
Yeah, if they're playing now, we're still winning, so we know they're still good,
Right.
Yeah.
Did you all hear about that rumor out there that Armstead might be thinking about surgery on his toe?
Yes, I did, but that's why I'm wondering. He saw the specialist in New York, but he's still day-to-day this week. What does that tell me? Maybe the specialist said something good. Maybe he said, I'll still stick it out. I'm worried about him, bro. I'm worried.
Well,
I think he wants to try and play as close to a full season as possible.
Probably.
He's a gamer. He's trying. But there's only so much you can take with especially with his position.
Yes.
When you have to kick slide and put that pressure on that foot, there's only so much you could take before it's going to give out, and he's going to have no choice.
That's what I'm worried about, which is why this week, even though people are saying it's not the NBA can't do, I'm like, maybe a guy like him this week, you don't play him. Like, give him some time, because if he hurts it real bad or he can't go, the whole season's going to be much worse trouble than
at this point, he's a pass blocker now. He's not a run blocker because he's not getting to that second level like he used to with the
as much money as we're paying him too.
That's tough. Yeah.
Hey, you guys do understand. Remember O.J. McDuffie?
Mm-hmm.
You know what ended his career, right?
I forget what ended his career.
No what?
Turf toe.
Yeah, that makes sense, bro. That's serious.
So
that's serious.
We're on our third quarterback, and our offensive line is in tatters.
And our cornerbacks is
true. I hope Armstead can go. If he can't go, I mean, does anyone think maybe Austin Jackson might be able to? I gave him a hard time, but
he's supposed to be back at practice.
Can you imagine Austin Jackson and Eichenberg together again? Like, that is just awful.
I am scared to death about Eichenberg still being out there. I am trying to figure out, with all this knowledge we have at offensive line coaching, why the hell he's still on the field. Did you all see any of the all 22 breakdown?
For the same reason Jerome Baker's on the
field.
There
was a clip of Eichenberg on one of the pass snaps that Skylar got rushed on, where he's standing by himself, and all of a sudden he turns to block somebody, ends up missing him completely, falling behind the guy, and the guy gets a free rush on Skylar. And I'm sitting here going, that right there, I'd be calling him over saying you're cut.
Right.
No, did you see Skylar's head bounce off the ground on that?
We also got to do less play action. I think we do too much play action because this O-line ain't going to hold up, dude. And they're going to tee off on our quarterbacks.
We play action if we're running the ball. It's good work.
Yeah, but even when we're running the ball, the problem is I see too much free rushers going into our quarterback. And it's like, that's how turnovers happen, bad plays happen.
Well,
people get hurt.
I will say this. The one turnover was because his arm got hit. The other turnover, the other turnover was because he held the ball too long, and he ended up getting hit and stripped.
That first turnover, the running back hits the right tackle and dislodges the edge rusher. No, that was Moser. But
was it Moser?
Yeah, it was Moser. It dislodges the edge rusher to hit him in the arm, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Can this rookie not get a single break that they did?
No,
you gotta be
fucking.
He
didn't play bad. He really didn't play bad. It
wasn't like he didn't play bad at all. He played good.
You know what the problem was he wasn't comfortable with the offense yet, with the players on the field, and he missed open people all day. But that was a rookie. That was a rookie. He didn't throw 3 picks. He didn't go looking like it was over his head and he was done. I got to give him props.
Chalk it up for experience.
Yeah.
Right.
This was the opposite.
I'm not going to down the man because he went out there without having one first team rep all week because they were getting Bridgewater ready trying to get him caught up. And his ass went out there and he didn't look overwhelmed. That I got to give him props on.
This was the opposite type of game luck that Tua got with the team he faced, the Rams,
Oh,
because our defense was shutting them down. Our
yep.
special teams was like making amazing plays the whole game. And then Tua still made mistakes, but all he had to do was one touchdown pass to what's his Pat whatever the wide receiver that's in New England now, Parker.
You know,
Yeah, Parker.
And that's
you know
it.
when
He only had like 90 yards of throwing
Right.
that game, right? He was like, and we won by 30 points. So it's like, what are you gonna do, man? It is what
You
it
know
is.
when I said Skylar is going to have no luck in the game? He had that nice run where he ran for like 11, 12
Yeah,
yards.
play
And then it gets called back from Armstead out of all people.
and
I'm
Armstead
sitting there
gets out
going,
of the game.
oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, man. This is
That
going to
was
be a
the first
long
drive.
day on offense.
That was the first drive too, and you thought that okay, here we're gonna get points now. We're gonna. This is it. This is Skylar's game. He's gonna no, and just
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I thought our defense played pretty good up into the fourth. And at the same time, I mean, I think Skylar was kind of limping through the game. We had a lot of good rushes, but we were in position to take the lead, I think, with 9 minutes left in the fourth. And so I'm looking at Skylar thinking I'm really excited about seeing this guy with a full week of preparation because he stepped in. I remember Mike McDaniels was just talking to him on the sideline, and I'm like, holy crap, Skylar's going in. And it was like, that was his prep. Coach McDaniel was like, all right, buddy, you're going in. Get your helmet.
Hey, you know what, though? I hope this shuts up a lot of people because I think Tua, when he's on the field, deserves some credit now for what he does with our offense.
Yeah, he does, bro. Come on. Because that offense is not nearly as good as he made it look like. The line, everybody.
He makes the line look 10 times better than it is.
He does. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
Look,
Tua makes this offense go, no doubt about it, when he's on the field.
Yes.
Yeah, but even still though, I'm really optimistic with Skylar, man. Have been like the guy, just give him the reps, okay, and let some things go his way. I just feel like he can get the ball out quick. He can take the big hits. He can take the deep throws.
Absolutely.
He just needs to work on his timing. Like he looks like a guy that you can rely on.
Yeah.
And we got one thing I like is that now we have two quarterbacks that we can depend on. And if injuries are going to play a part of it, it's okay because we have real depth now with Skylar.
Hey,
right?
do you
As
think
opposed to in the past
And
where the
the only
season's
thing
over.
and one of the things that I will advocate for the most is we need to show Skylar the same respect. We need to give him the same due process that we gave to him.
What you mean by that?
Hey, I have a question for the panel real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when Michael Carter scored and did the waddle, I thought it was funny as hell. The panel? I know some people found it offensive. Some people found it funny. How did you guys react to Michael Carter doing that?
It looked garbage, man.
That pissed me off.
I am mad at him.
He looks like
It pissed me off.
Waddle's so good that they know about the celebration so much that they want to mimic it now.
Yeah, but they
Hey,
butchered
beat him
it.
after
That wasn't a waddle. That was never butchered. First
I
of all,
think
the
it was a
waddle.
slap in the face. Hey, it's going to motivate Waddle is what it's going to do.
That's what I was about to say. That should piss off the whole team. That's a little disrespect thrown. And now here's the thing. When we play New York next and Waddle scores, all you have to do is look over at Michael Carter and do it right over by the sideline.
You know he's going to. Look out for Waddle against the Jets.
Oh, I can't wait for the game against the Jets, especially if we're healthy.
Oh, we're going to spank them. We're going to
That's the
spank
last
them.
game of the season.
Yes,
It's the
bro.
last game of the season, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm ready
In
for
Miami,
that, bro.
hell yeah.
That's why I ain't gonna sit here and cry.
And that's when you go like this. You go, even if you have a wild card spot locked up or a division locked up, you turn over and you go, coach, I still want to go out there and score one so I can do my waddle for him.
Last time we had the Jets, last game of the season, we made the playoffs. Philip Merlin got that interception.
Guys, you do realize, I hope all of you are ready to root for Kansas City this weekend.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Go Chiefs.
Hey, Pat, I got a question for the panel real quick. Why didn't the refs throw the flag on when Patty Mahomes got slung to the ground, but they threw the flag when Tom Brady got slung to the ground? They did the same exact thing.
I said that earlier.
That's what we were talking about earlier. It's inconsistent.
Like I don't like the look. They need to lick this shit up until they get it all worked out.
You know what? I would have been fired that day if I was in the press in that interview with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I would have been fired that day because they asked Tom Brady, "What about the flag?" He goes, "Oh, I don't throw the flags." I would have been like, "Yeah, you just pay to have them thrown."
Because I'm gonna tell you something. If I was Teddy Bridgewater, it would have been. I would have took a fine that day. I would have cussed that ref the fuck out on the field. I would have had to take one for the team. I would have lit his ass up right there in the fucking.
You would have gone. You would have gone Devontae Adams on that motherfucker.
Fucking, I would have lit his ass up.
Hell yeah.
Hey, what do y'all like about Skylar Thompson?
What did we like about Skylar Thompson?
No, I'm saying, like, what do y'all like about him? Like,
I can't.
First of all, he can take a hit. He can take a hit.
Durable.
I like his arm talent for sure. He has good arm talent.
Yeah, he does have a good arm.
He can throw from any angle, right? He's a scrambler. Okay. He's able to he looks poised for his position. Like he's not like he was in that game the whole time. We weren't doing him any favors. The run game was okay, but he was gutting it out on himself. And in the end, the special teams with the missed field goal and Tanner Connor did not help him out. And yeah, he's gonna make mistakes when you're down 2 possessions with 8 minutes left to go.
I will say this:
10-yard line.
He threw a couple passes that had me holding my breath.
Yeah, he did throw it. Yeah.
To the sideline?
He threw
Yeah, me holding my breath when he's holding on to the ball forever, like Tua was, man. I'm like, what the hell? He's holding on the ball longer than Tua.
Yeah, but what you got to like about him is what do we have to lose with Skylar? I have no expectations with this guy. Other than, I mean, he's already starting in week 6. He's our 3rd string quarterback. Like, the expectations, frankly, are not very high. But I'm also excited about it because I think he has a lot of potential. I just think he's just a different quarterback than we've had in our system. We're always so hyped, guys. Every offseason, man, we got the free agent, we got this, and we got Skylar here just out of nowhere starting. That's
how many of you are close to my age? I'm 47.
How old are you? I'm
47.
How old are you? I'm 48.
Okay, so you all remember back to when Marino got hurt with the Achilles?
Yep.
And then Mitchell went out with the injury. And then Peterson, who's the coach of Jacksonville now, had the Shula's record-breaking win.
Yeah, that is
true.
Hey, it wasn't. If I'm not mistaken, that Achilles happened against the Browns, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, this is the first time I've seen us go through that many quarterbacks since then.
Right? Yeah, but he wasn't a rookie though.
No, he wasn't. But he was never that good.
Yeah, but still, a rookie is like a rookie to come in that particular situation. I don't care who you are, especially a 7th rounder.
Actually, the rookie was the 2nd string quarterback, I think, or second year. Mitchell was like 2nd year, I think, for Mitchell, and he went down with the injury.
I don't know, man. Skylar had the preseason, and right now he's holding his own. So I think he's gonna get another start. I can't wait to see this kid. Like, I feel like whether it's Skylar or Tua, we now finally have a quarterback, right, that we can rely on. It's not the top false off.
I'm not going to say that on Skylar yet.
Yeah, dude, if you can do what Skylar did with no reps at all,
we were playing with our 3rd string quarterback. Our 3rd string quarterback was playing with our 3rd and 4th string type tackles.
Yeah.
No, he can handle it, man. He made the plays. He did the reads.
He can handle it.
He got the ball out as fast as he could with the situation that he was given. And no, man, he showed enough.
We got to have the team around him, though. That's the thing.
He showed enough. That loss was not on Skylar.
I will say this. Everybody keeps trying to compare him to Tua. When Tua came in, he had to go up against the Rams defense with Donald. Aaron Donald, Brockers, Ramsey. That was a defense.
That was crazy.
No, Ramsey didn't play that game.
Okay. Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't. Ramsey was out that game. I remember vividly. He was out.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was out.
Was he?
It was a good defense.
All right. Well, I think some of our third string tackles right now are better than the tackles he had out on the field. Come on now. We had a journeyman playing one tackle who couldn't block to save his life. Who I think isn't he in Minnesota right now? Oh no, he's back in
Jesse Davis.
Yeah, Jesse Davis is in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot asked of Tua. He only had one drive that whole game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And he did fumble like the very second drawback and caused the touchdown. But no, that flow of like I said, Tua made his bones versus the next game, the next two games. He showed up, and that's what we're gonna see from Skylar now with Minnesota.
Listen, I hope so.
If he balls out, then we know.
I hope he does, and he remains our second string quarterback.
Well, he will be our second string, dude.
Yeah,
like,
agree.
More than Teddy, dude. Teddy's just. Oh.
But if Skylar comes out and if he wins against the Vikings, it gives Tua more time to rest and not have to come back, and then Tua can truly come back when he's ready.
Hey, Tua will. He's ready right now. They're doing this, I think, to get him some time back and throwing the football. But here's the thing. You think Tua wants to miss out on a chance to do Pittsburgh in with Flores over there?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He will come out of a hospital bed and crawl out on the field if he has to play that game. Especially with the way
it's not up to him though.
Especially with Pittsburgh playing like crap. You have no TJ Watt.
Yeah, TJ will be back though, so that's a problem.
I don't think he will be back for that game. I think he's still out for another one.
We can beat Pittsburgh with Skylar, I think.
Pittsburgh is bad.
Yeah.
If Tua's ready to play, he will play. Because if not, that's unfair to the player.
But we need a good backup. So Skylar needs this experience.
I feel like Skylar is the type of guy.
Do you think they activate Reed Sinnett for this game as an emergency quarterback?
Yeah.
Well,
this weekend? Hell yeah.
No, actually,
Teddy was the backup.
Yeah, Teddy was the backup. That's what McDaniel said.
That's weird.
But with the caveat is if he passes protocol.
Which he will.
He still hasn't passed protocol yet.
Did you see Teddy's already third stringer now?
No,
unofficial
he will
third
pass
stringer.
it. It's just the earliest you could ever come back, even if you pass protocol of flying colors, is tomorrow. I think he'll be back tomorrow.
But let me ask you, how's the NFL even letting that slide?
What?
He did not.
Yeah, he didn't have a concussion. Right, I know.
He didn't stumble.
I know.
Right.
I know.
We know.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I know.
That's everything we need to know about how the NFL operates and how they're managing Tua.
Right.
It's up to their discretion.
Right.
But this seems very much this is like very overreaching. That's like your insurance company calls you, say, hey, look, we need you to go to the doctor and get examined for a concussion. We're mandating it. Like like when do we start doing that?
Right.
Well, let me ask you this: you know who I wish I was right now?
Who?
I wish I was the doctor who got fired by the NFL.
Yeah, he about to sue.
I think he got a settlement.
He's about to become a very, very wealthy man.
Agreed. And
I think he's going to start his own
their
practice.
Words. That's their own words, not even based
When it came out that he made several mistakes in the beginning, to where the report came out, he made zero, everything was followed. That's slanderous. That is just
defamation.
He's going to be sitting here naming his price.
Yeah, but guys, I mean, when Tua went down after that late hit by Milano, he didn't get up looking right. And I understand there's protocols, but guys, I mean, seriously, he did not. I know we got the whole back thing. He did not get up looking right. And you're fooling yourself if you don't think that has something to do with Tua being held out this long. This is not a one concussion approach by the NFL. I think they're erring on the side of caution. They're assuming he had two, and that's why we have so much confusion right now. And that's why I believe Tua's future this year is in question.
Well, I do know this. When Tua comes back, he will not get injured again, because if he gets injured again for whatever reason, I think his future with the Dolphins is very much in jeopardy.
I think that's if he does get injured. And listen, I'm a Tua supporter.
Yeah.
I like what he does on the field. I've been real happy this year up until now. If he gets injured again, and you have to start looking at maybe drafting another quarterback and signing one,
or go for a big time free agent QB.
Right.
Which
I don't think you can afford that. I don't think you can afford that.
Aaron Rodgers.
Why would Tua come back and get hurt? I mean, I think there's money on the line for this guy. Think about this. If this guy gets hurt, it's over. He's injury prone.
Nobody wants to see Tua get hurt again. If he comes back and gets injured again, the whole fan base is gonna be like, "Leave, man." Bye.
And his money's gone too. I mean, I think the dude has some leverage right now.
Yeah, the only quarterback that'll be in real play for us will be coming out of Baltimore and will be priced out of our range.
I don't know. Will he be priced out of our range? I don't know.
Dude, they're talking about $300 million for him now.
Yeah, no, you're never gonna get him because you have to pay him and trade for him. That's never gonna
Let's
happen.
go, Skylar. Woo!
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you have to trade for him. I think isn't he a free agent?
Yeah, he'll be a free agent.
No, that doesn't work that way because they'll franchise him.
They will not tag him. They will not tag him because of what they're going to have to pay with how many dollars have gone out to these last couple quarterbacks. They will be on the hook. They will not.
It'll be like 33 mil, 34 mils a tag.
No,
because those contracts are going to come after the tag. You know.
Hey, Seahawks let Russell Wilson walk, and they're better for it.
Yeah.
They are going to end up letting him walk. He will, because he can refuse to sign the franchise tag. Number one.
Right.
Number two.
Yeah, but
he does not want to be in Baltimore anymore, and that will be the last straw. He might sit out for the year.
They might actually pay him, so you never know.
I see that one ending real messy.
We can't even afford to pay. Like, we cannot offload any contracts because
guys, you do realize. Well, you do realize the TV deal next year, it's going to skyrocket the salary cap.
I think we're going to 225, but I've done the math. Even at 225, the cap space, we will only have.
What's the cap at this year?
200, so it'll go to 225.
No, they're guessing it's going up by 40, maybe 50.
Are you serious? That's changing.
But the key word there is guessing. They're guessing.
That changes everything, dude. If Amazon goes out of the woodwork and all these other networks, they decide to give empty checks, that changes everything. Like, I'm telling you, you're gonna see major overhaul across the NFL.
You do realize where he might go if he doesn't stay in Baltimore and we don't get him.
Tampa Bay.
Where?
New England?
There's a team in our division that might actually take him.
No, Tampa will take him, dude. Tampa will take him, dude.
Guys, how many times have we been praying for the free agent or the draft pick and that ends in failure? Always. Lamar Jackson sounds great, but
no, we got Tua.
The
fan base wanted.
Listen, I don't think we'll get Lamar. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think you'll end up. I think you'll end up in New England.
Good.
But I don't want Lamar until Lamar starts winning playoff games. I don't want him. So if he doesn't have a playoff run this year, I don't care what the excuses is. Win, baby, in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then I can trust you. Other than that, cry me a river, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Dude, when they got rid of Hollywood Brown, that pissed him off. That was his final straw there. That pissed him off.
Yeah, but he's still balling out better than he ever played before. So
because
maybe
he's auditioning for another team.
Exactly.
It may not be us. Who knows who the hell it is? All I know is I hope Tua does what he has to do, and if not, let's hope it's Skylar because it's going to be tough to get another quarterback that way. It just is.
With Tua and Skylar, we make the playoffs this year. That's all I know. But not with Teddy. We couldn't afford another game with Teddy, dude. We would have lost with Teddy with the Jets. Nothing would have changed. Trust me.
I disagree.
The same drop balls would have happened, dude.
I think.
I don't know.
Well,
He might have won
no.
with Teddy.
There's a difference between Skylar, and it was shown. I saw an all 22 yesterday with that throw to the one that was dropped by our rookie, the tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had no touch on that ball. That was fired at him.
It wobbled.
It wobbled and it was fired at him. It was like he threw a fastball up close.
And before that wobble, he also did another mistake. Before that wobble, he also made a mistake with the false start, the delay of game, and that was
but
all
here's the thing: he has to learn. You can't just throw your fastball all over the place.
But
that's why.
But see, in Skylar's
get better
defense,
and better than Teddy will. You know what I mean? Like he will improve. Teddy will not improve. And for the future, we have our backup. You know.
All right, I agree, Artie. I'm not disagreeing with you, but the reason why I say we had a better chance with Teddy in that game, the whole week was designed getting Teddy up to speed.
I know.
I think that would have given us a better chance in itself.
But then why did the first play happen? Then what did the first play? That's the thing. Like with Teddy, it's like he's got an aurora, like he's got a halo this year that is just all broken, Teddy, dude. Like he just looks like he's behind one step. I don't think he wanted to come to Miami. He just followed where the money is. And I think
he wanted to come home.
Hey, y'all, and think about this. We tried to sign Teddy a couple years ago. He told us to kick rocks.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? We tried to sign him before, and he said no.
And he went to New Orleans.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Guys, what do you think about this? We're having issues at running back too with Chase, right?
Yeah, he dropped that pass.
What about trying to find a deal for CMC? He's only going to be. We're only going to have to pay $1 million, just over $1 million on the books this year, and none of his contracts guaranteed after this year.
Stay away.
I don't know if a running back's going to solve the problems when our
we need a line.
But here's the thing. CMC's good receiver out the backfield. He's a good blocker, and he's a good runner. That would be good to have behind Moser.
It would, but I think it's. I don't think we're going to go out and look for a running back. If anything, it'd be a linebacker.
I doubt it. Running backs a dime a dozen.
Can look good.
Carolina's going Carolina's going to be getting rid of everybody.
Plus he's another injury-prone player.
You know what we need? We need Skylar to come out and put up a wow performance for us, and we go up 4-2.
That'd be nice.
A lot of our problems are going to be behind us, and we're going to be looking to the future.
I don't even need a wow performance. I don't even need a wow performance. If we come out with a W, I'm happy. I don't care how it is.
That's what I was talking about earlier. This is a huge game for us.
Huge.
So is it just me, or has anybody noticed how Robert Hunt has to help out Greg Little on every pass play?
Yeah,
he has to. Anytime a defensive end takes an inside move to the quarterback, Robert Hunt always has to help him.
But see, that's part of. Here's the problem. That's Robert Hunt's job. I got to give him that. He's supposed to be there to do that. Look at over on the other side. Look when Armstead is on doing that. And look at Eichenberg standing there with nobody to block, nothing to do.
Right. It depends on the rusher.
Because so when the rusher goes on Greg Little's outside shoulder, he gets beat almost every time. Yeah. If you look at it.
Watch this game. Raycraft is not going to be active, as Okama will be, and expect a big game out of Gesicki.
I think Raycraft has to be active. You can't move him back down anymore. He's on the team. We signed him to the 53.
I know, but the thing is, he hasn't done nothing, dude.
I think we have to start making some trades. If we're not going to use Gesicki, we got to trade him. If we're not going to use,
amen.
I think we got a third compensatory something pick for him. Even if we don't trade him, we get a third rounder next year. So I just don't think it's in the cards.
Someone has to sign him.
I want an above average offensive lineman in trade.
So
Yeah,
so
That
somebody
actually is great.
and I
Above
like
average.
Gesicki, but they ain't using them. So why are we keeping them when we could get value?
but you got to look at it. But you got to look at it in this perspective. If I was Gesicki, this is a performance-based league.
Right.
You get compensated based on how much you perform. If he's not getting the ball and he's not producing, we're hurting him going forward, whether we let him go or not.
Right. I don't understand why we're doing that to the dude.
Number two, I think we need to look at trading Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, we get an
It's a
injury.
lot
We
of
might
cap
need him. He
space.
hasn't done much, but I don't know who to blame.
Dude, he's done nothing but drop passes.
Yeah.
I think if we bring up Ezukama, that's Cedric Wilson's spot right there.
And we also, and some may disagree with me, and I'm serious, and I'm telling you, we need to look at moving Ogba as well.
I disagree there.
Look,
His production, but Ogba is not a dog. He's getting dog money.
Your mic's low, Larry. We could barely hear you when you pipe up, man.
No, I don't know why. Maybe because of
compressor.
So the problem is
Ogba's getting really good money. He's getting really good money, and he hasn't had a sack to date.
He does. The first game he got a sack. He's had some pressure. The problem is his contract can be moved, dude. We don't have the cap space to move his contract.
Can we get back to Gesicki? I think if they could have got better value than a third rounder, he'd have been gone already. I don't think anyone's
We're not going to get a third round in compensation next year if he doesn't sign a big deal. If he's not getting the numbers this year, no team's going to give him a huge deal to come in.
Then we are screwing ourselves.
I think there's going to be some team that really likes his skill set that's going to go out and get him.
I thought we were going to really like Gesicki's skill set. I thought McDaniel was going to use him big time.
I hate to say this. Gesicki would be a Pro Bowler in Green Bay right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Skylar's going to get him.
McDaniel, bro. I put that on him.
Skylar's going to use him. Trust me.
All the time.
Yeah, but did you hear what our tight ends coach said the other day?
I did, and I thought it was disrespectful, and I thot it was unprofessional.
No, what did he say? What?
So he said they asked like, "What's going on with Gesicki? Why aren't you using him?" And he said something to the effect of, "Oh, George Kittle sent me a text the other day of him, pancaking somebody." And we want guys who can block or something. I thought that was to me that was dumb because to me it's also insecure because they're asking you, as a coach, why can't you use this dude with the skills? He's like, well, he can't block. I had George Kittle. I just thought, but what scares me is that a reflection on McDaniel? Because if so, I got questions, man.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Larry,
I don't like that either.
Larry, you know what's going to happen next game? I'm telling you, they're going to put him in the slot down the middle of the field.
I hope so.
Go feed. So Skylar can do that.
Yep.
Skylar can do that, and he did that when the game was like out of reach. He's like, let me play a little backyard football here because I can do it, right?
Vertical up the middle,
they
man.
Never, they know what Skylar had, but they never planned on playing him this year. That was never part of the plan, and now things have changed. And trust me, they're going to play to his strengths, and you could see Ezukama be activated, dude. I'm telling you, they're going to.
My problem with Gesicki is it's not just the not blocking. He's good for one route.
Right, but he's damn
straight
good
away.
at that route.
He's a goal post. He can.
He's
good for the seam route, and that's all he's good for because he's not a great route runner.
He's not a great route runner.
Yeah, but he's a big body up there.
No, but he's a big. You're right. He's a big.
But I don't
he's
care
a big body. He's a big body, but how many yards after contact does he get?
I don't care. All I know is in games he's made differences with huge plays, including this year. So if he doesn't run great routes or it doesn't matter apparently because when you use him, he gives you results. So
if you put him in,
he's got that wingspan.
There's a lot of guys that are not mechanically sound or they're tweeners or they don't do this, but they just make things happen.
No one does it better. No one is better than him between the hash marks. Just let him run down the hash marks, throw it for 25 yards, and he can do that 3 times a game for a touchdown too. And that's huge.
I could tell you 2 tight ends right now. I would take in the hash marks over him.
On our team?
No, not on our team.
Okay, so then so 2, so he's number 3. That ain't bad. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
No, he can do it just as good as anybody, dude. Because he's a basketball player. He can catch it. Just put it on the spot. He'll catch.
I'm saying if you could name 2 guys better, so then he's like number 3 or around top 5. Then we should be using him. Find a way to use him.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The problem is with him, when he's out there, you know what you're going to do because you can't run with him. He's not a disguise.
That's true. Yes.
Right.
No, but it's when it's 2nd and 7. I don't care that they know that we're gonna throw. We're gonna throw.
We might not at 2nd and 7. You know what I mean?
I'm saying if it's I don't need a disguise at 2nd and 7. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna throw. Try to stop me.
If you're such a genius, though, McDaniel, if McDaniel's such a genius, he should be able to found a way so far to put him on the field and then run it without, even with his deficiency in blocking. We run out of 3 receiver sets. Come on.
He should be eating out there.
Yeah,
The second should be going all.
It's stubbornness of a coaching staff who put forth the idea that he works with his talent. It's the guy who's running the system, and he's mad at a guy because he doesn't fit his system. I don't like
They're
that.
stuck on him blocking.
Yes,
Bullshit.
yes, please. I still like McDaniel. I'm just saying it's okay to also like a guy and also say, "Ooh, that's a red flag," and just.
But Gesicki did show up with the Ravens, right? He balled out with the Ravens. He made some amazing catches, right?
Right, but
play to his strengths. And I think Skylar can play because Skylar is the type of guy that can play big in the pocket, right? And he can throw it right in the middle of the field. And he wants to do it over and over again.
You know why you don't see Gesicki on every play? It's because he doesn't block. But you notice when you see him is during the plays that are like, okay, we have no choice but to pass. Like the second half of the Ravens
even worse,
game.
Though, on the coaches. Like, you only put them in when you know you're going to pass and you have to pass, so you only reinforce advertising what you're doing. It's silly, bro. Throw them in on the first down just to confuse them. Like, that's why I'm saying I'm putting that on the coaches, yo. Like, I don't like it, bro. Like, I'm putting that on them.
Am I crazy? Am I crazy to say that McDaniels actually has an offense geared for the passing game, not necessarily the running game? So, I mean, and it seems like we've had a lot of success through the air. Maybe he should be focusing more on that and more implementation of Gesicki. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to run the ball, but
no, that's what we're saying.
We ran good. We lost. So what are we doing? Bro.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, it's okay to just note and somebody in the media to even ask, hey, what's going on? And when they fire back that way, I still like the staff. I'm just saying it's just a little bit of a red flag because it's like, just
that's not a good answer.
Yeah,
So Larry, one thing about McDaniels that I've seen so far in the young season, this guy knows how to work the clock, which is better than any coach in the league, dude. To a T. Like, he works the clock. He knows in the 2-minute warning how to work the clock.
You sure about that? You sure about that, RD?
Yeah, with the Ravens, he worked it perfection. He worked it to perfection with the Jets. He worked it to perfection with.
He doesn't leave enough time for the other team to drive down and score. He leaves you with just enough time to get your kickoff, and that's it.
That's it.
His
key
game
moments.
Day decisions have been pretty good, except for one challenge or two. I've liked them, and I want to see him. So this game to me is another reason it's big. We're going to learn about our quarterback, who might be our backup quarterback going forward, might be a future quarterback and prospect. And we're going to learn about our head coach, yo. You have a week to prepare a guy who played respectably while coming in cold against the Jets. You are at home. You have a week to do it. You have 2 losses to figure out what they're doing to you and how to counteract it. Let's see him scheme a good game. Let's see this offense get going. If he scores a lot of points but the defense just shits the bed because they don't have the players, that's one thing. But don't be stagnant on offense. I'm excited to see what he does because I believe in him, but I want to see him do something this Sunday. I'm expecting something out of him.
And for the love of God, can we start with the kickoff this time, like receiving it? Because it's been 5 straight games.
Yeah.
We are falling behind. We're making mistakes with that first drives and putting us in a bigger hole. Like, let the momentum be on our side. Forget about the second half. Let put the hammer down. You're at home too, right?
Yeah, but you got to understand also that the way we did it would have been perfect because we scored 10 points in the final 2 minutes of the half. And then turned around and got the ball to start the second half. That's the way you want to go into halftime. You want to get the ball last, get something in the end zone or a field goal, and come out in the second half and grab it and keep momentum on your side.
I do like deferring, but RD's point, maybe just to switch it up and see if it works. But I
I don't
usually
know.
prefer deferring.
I would rather stick with deferring, but I would be telling my defensive coordinator to be aggressive to start the game.
Hold on.
No,
There's something that really been bothering me actually about that. Since the Cincinnati game, that Thursday night game, we won the coin toss and we deferred and we put our defense out on the field first, knowing they were dead tired. Okay. And I thought that would have been a great move for McDaniel to put the offense out on the field, to go out there and get a score and to take some stress off the defensive back. So talking about deferring and all of that, I think it's on a game by game basis, but that Thursday night Cincinnati game, we put our defense out there on the field first, and you know what? What did Cincinnati do? 7 points right away, and it was
John, I was at that game. It was extremely, extremely loud. It was a packed house. Cincinnati was amped up. I agreed when they did it.
All right, guys, I have to go.
All right, later, brother.
Later.
I agreed with you because sitting there, I was wondering why we didn't take the ball first. Our scripted first drive looked really nice. Tua looked good. We had to take the crowd out of it. Putting your defense out there with that rabid crowd, bad idea. It just got them even more crazy. If we had gone down and even moved the ball a little bit, we could have calmed the crowd down. So I agree with you, game by game basis.
I'm glad you did, because I was infuriated, and then the whole chain reaction of everything. I was just like, it started.
We've done it for 5 straight games, though. Like, it's not 1 or 2; it's 5 straight games. We need to change it up because we've been falling behind on every game now, except for the first game, right? Yeah, I mean, I know the second half is important and everything, but we have a real deficiency in the first half, and you just can't continue on like that, playing from behind, especially with the young quarterback.
No, I agree. So, guys, listen, it's been 2 hours, 15 minutes. We've been going in, which has been awesome.
Sir.
But we're gonna wind down now because I got
great show, man.
Yeah, man. You guys make it, man. We're starting to get our own little culture over here, where every Wednesday you know who's gonna pop up, and it's awesome. It makes the community better. It makes people who watch, they know what they're gonna see. So it's just dope. Thank you for
love it, man. Love it.
And we'll be back next week. You guys know we will. So let's do final thoughts, though. Mountie, we'll start with you if you're around. What's your final thought, my brother?
Hey, this fins up. I got total confidence in Skylar. McDaniel's going to have him ready to go. I think he's prepared. I think he's poised. I've always said that from the very beginning. But again, some people may not agree with me. We need to try to move on from Agbar. And then I think Christian Wilkins is probably a better defensive end than Agbar.
Right.
And I'll close it with that.
All right. Let's see what happens this week. Defense has definitely been a liability. We'll see you next week, Mountie. Thanks for joining, brother. RD, final thought.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, like I said, man, thank you for having me on this show. I like it how we just keep it. Everybody, we don't have agendas. We just call it like it is. Yes, and everybody wants to put their point of view. I'm just super excited. On a side note, I want to just, a total disclosure. It's never happened in my life ever that I've had my prayers answered on the spot. But right before that game started, I did make a little wish that maybe Teddy gets, a little dinged up.
Oh, man.
And the fact that it happened on first play kind of spooked me. I'm like, he looks okay to walk, but I'm telling you, dude, I don't want to see that guy ever on the field for the Miami Dolphins again, because I want the future of these Dolphins to actually have a starting quarterback and a reliable quarterback to back up, because Tua has had health concerns. And I know that is the only Achilles heel we have to getting to the playoffs. And I can't, for the life of me, rely on a Teddy or on a Jabroni Biscuit or on a Josh Rosen or on a Fitzpatrick or Fitztragic or whoever. Like, I just want somebody who can get the job done. And Teddy has always, come up short. I'm like, just give me the new guy. And the new guy looks like he's promising to be something of a guy. So we'll see. But I'm glad that Teddy's okay and it wasn't fatal, but it was the first time in my life that, oh my God, it actually happened on the first play. And it was the stupidest first play ever organized in the history of the Miami Dolphins. I've never seen a first play like that on the road, especially in front of the Jets. Like, it was just bad karma all throughout, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see if Skylar cuts it or not. I'm praying he does because I want the W, man, to keep the season on track. So that's where
Later,
I'm at,
bud.
RD. But later,
Thank you
my
for
bro.
having me, guys.
Yes,
Later,
sir.
guys.
See you next week, brother. Later.
Yep.
All right. John, final thoughts, my brother.
All right, team. Thanks for having me on. Shake, I want to see you in a robe. I want to see you rocking the Hugh Hef because we need to win, man. So, I mean, I think Skylar's going to come out here. I think he's going to get the job done. I think our defense is going to show up. It might be a 30-point against our D, but you know what? When the time comes, they're going to make that stop, and Skylar's going to come through. Skylar's the future of this team. Tua's coming back, but Skylar's long-term here, and he's going to show it tomorrow. Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
I'm excited. John, talk to you soon, my brother. Later.
You say, John.
Please.
Yo. Thank you for having me, man. Fury. Love the Fury fam. Love the Fury fam.
You're one of the lead members, bro. So, shoot, you've been on this for a while, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here, man. It's Larry, me and you kind of kicked it through different chats, and Shake, you too, and G, I'm glad to be here with you too, man. I love it, man. I love, it's a great show every Wednesday night, man, and we love it.
And we love having you on, Bleeze.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And so, as far as this game this weekend, man, I think it's going to be a challenge, and I think, like I was saying earlier, if we win, I think we're going to be really on the right track. I think if we don't win, I think we're still okay, man. I still don't think it's time to press a panic button, even though I think the fan base may kind of lean that way. But either way, I think we're fine. There's still going to be a lot of games left. And hopefully people stay behind McDaniel. I've heard some rumblings about people questioning him, and I'm not worried about that. I'll question him too. We keep it for real up here.
If we had to, we will. Right.
Yeah, but that's it, guys, man. Much love. Let's party on, man. Hope to see y'all in between here and game day, man.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Much love.
Talk to you soon.
Hi, Shake. Hi, Larry. Hi, G.
Good night.
See you.
Yeah, I agree with what he said too, bro. I don't think it's the end of the world if we lose. That's just my opinion. I hope we win. I don't want to deal with losing. It's a different trajectory, but I think we still survive. But G, final thought, my bro.
Man,
this guy's over here with all this noise. He's over here like doing notes. I mean, I love it.
Yeah, doing my homework. Unfortunately,
it's fine.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Skylar, man. I hope he just proves me that he's got it. I want to see preseason Skylar. If I'm going to be honest, I might overreact if I don't see preseason Skylar. I'd be like coming out saying we got to cut him open a roster spot and whatnot. But we got to see, man. I hope this is Skylar's opportunity. Hey, for all you Tua fans, I get it. You love Tua. But if Skylar balls out, you should be nothing but happy because we could trade him, get some picks, some players or whatnot, and Tua can still roll. But let's not root against the kid. Come on, let's give him a shot.
Agreed.
His opportunity, his chance. He could probably, if he balls out, make millions of dollars, maybe with contracts and such and whatnot. But I just can't wait to see Skylar. I think we're gonna win because Skylar's gonna ball out. I'm just so hyped. But it's not the end of the world if we lose. 500 Steelers got a big game Sunday night.
All right, G. We'll see you next week, my bro. Let's go, Fins. Fins up, bro. Later. Shake. The man, the mystery, the legend, bro. What's your final thoughts, my bro?
My final thoughts is I have a little story time. Real quick, I'll make this simple. One thing I learned as an adult growing up is that you hang out with somebody and that friend that you're hanging with does another one of your friends dirty, he's going to do you dirty too. And I say that to say this. I'm hearing a lot of these Dolphins with this self-victimization. Oh, the NFL is out to get us and this and that. I remember the Saints lost a trip to the Super Bowl for a blatant pass interference, and all the people like, oh, it was just, and that's just the NFL. That's just the NFL, or even if it's the Patriots, even if it's the a team that you can't stand. If they did those teams dirty, they're going to do your team dirty. So if you're going to be outraged about the no calls and the bullcrap penalties that the Dolphins get, you should be outraged for every team that's not your team, because at the end of the day, if they do another team dirty, they're going to do your team dirty just as well. So we got to stop it at the bud. It can't be, oh, it's just the Patriots. I don't care about them. They deserve to get. But guess what? Your team is next to get screwed over. So
no, you're right.
So at the end of the day, man, we got to keep the same energy. If we want this game to be fair, then let it be fair for everybody, not just the Dolphins. Because at the end of the day, every team is getting screwed left and right. It's not just the Miami Dolphins. Again, next week, hopefully I'll be Shake Hefner. Fins up, baby.
I like it. Later, Shake. Peace. So, Fury fam, you see how we do on this show. You see now we have that consistent panel. That panel is hitting every week. I know you do this has been out of it probably because we've been losing. You don't want to talk when we're losing. But everybody, thank you for coming on the show. If you have not done so yet, if you stop by this show, if you from time to time browse my videos, if you from time to time check in and hear what the panel's saying, if you once in a while hit the like button or you once in a while hit the comment button, please do me a huge favor and this channel and the Fury family a huge favor and join us. Join the family. Scroll right below this video and just hit subscribe. Smash subscribe. Even if you're not a Dolphins fan, just a football fan, smash subscribe. We have a lot of good discussion on the show, and where we're playing your team, we might discuss it. We discuss general NFL news, and we discuss a whole hell of a lot of Miami Dolphins football, man. From every angle, objectively, all opinions welcome. Please smash the subscribe button if you can. Smash the like button, and if you got it in you, go ahead and smash the super thanks or the super comment button. Donate a couple bucks to the channel. It's very, very helpful. Keeps things going. Keeps the bells and whistles, the new technology and the things we're doing here. Keeps everything rolling, and it gives us more resources to work with. But in any event, man, thank you for joining me, NG, and Shake, and Bleezy, and John, and everybody who was on here, and the whole panel. Fins up, man. Let's try to get this W against Minnesota. I'll talk to you guys very soon, either right after the game or right before the game. Until then, man, let's just keep hoping. Let's just stay behind the team, and let's hope the season ends up the way we want it to. Cheers and good night.